WNKT-FM, Eastover, Columbia, your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game, a Cumulus media station.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Research shows that most people who set a New Year's resolution fail by mid-March. I don't want that to be you, so I'm going to let you in on some great advice from behavioral scientist Katie Milkman. She says you're most likely to stick with your resolution if you've chosen a goal that's concrete and bite-sized. That means you want to avoid vague goals like I'll exercise more, and instead set specific goals like I will work out 4 times a week. Milkman also advises making a cue-based plan. So rather than saying I'll meditate on weekdays, say I'll meditate at the office on weekdays during my lunch break. She also suggests you consider a penalty clause, something that you'll need to give up or give back if you don't do what you say you're going to do. Finally, make whatever it is that you want to do fun. You're far more likely to stick with something that you actually enjoy. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Oh, I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
The early game with Bill Gunter.
Yeah, so I thought I might get a rose for picking Kyle Busch to win NASCAR and picking a winner correctly. And
Jen Jensen.
Now, keep in mind, Preston, if when we pick a winner, he won't recommend that we get a rose. So just so you know that. This is all about him.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
Surprise. Bill is all about this.
Yep.
On your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
You're waking up this much. You're a South Carolina fan. You are waking up a happy, happy Gamecock. What a weekend for South Carolina athletics. Wasn't sure that was the direction it was going to go Friday night, Preston.
Yeah, it was, again, we have to, now that I've done doing this job, I watch the games a little differently, and I just pray for positive outcomes and results, because I don't know if I wanted to come in here if that thing would have went another way.
I had a terrible cough on Friday night. Terrible cough.
I understand.
You had been out in the rain.
That was it.
You'd played in the rain a little bit.
Yeah.
Cold weather got to you. Pollen was bothering you.
Just
Stumped your toe.
here.
Yeah. It was Friday night was whoa. And so then that leaves a lot to be desired going into Saturday in Greenville. And I tell you what, as you just said, there are times doing this job, you can sense the pressure. And it doesn't affect us. I'll be one of the first to tell you, occasionally, some of the easiest radio shows I did this year came after the Georgia game, after the Missouri game, and after the Florida football games. Those are 3 of the easiest. Now, with that being said, the Monday after the Clemson game was absolutely fantastic, and people were fired up and excited. But when you give people negativity, the phone lines go crazy. The text line goes crazy. Everybody wants to weigh in and get all fired up and do that thing. So, there is that element of well, okay, if they lose, I just can rip up. If they get swept or they lose 2 or 3, we can just rip up whatever we wanted to talk about today. I'll just have the one segment with Preston's thorns, buds, and roses, and then the rest of it will just be people hooping and hollering and already checking in to see who the next head coach could be. But I will admit, I felt the pressure Saturday at about 1:00, and then about I don't know, whatever time the fifth inning was, I guess is when you would say. Clemson's up 3-0 after the top half of the third. And I remember thinking, ooh, this is a lot of pressure, and I don't even play this sport. Like, that's when you know it's intense.
Yeah, I mean, it's there was no way to get around it. As we said on Friday, yes, Coach Kingston and crew could have spun it and said there's a long season left and we got a lot of games left to play and there's all of our goals are still out in front of us. All those things that coaches say, those could have been said, but they know they wanted that game. They wanted that serious. It was important, man. And coaches do it, players do it all the time, but coaches mostly, no game is more important than the next one. No, this was important and it was huge. And he doesn't have to say it publicly or he doesn't have to confess, but that meant a lot to that team.
It didn't get better. At the top of after the seventh, South Carolina's down 7-3.
Mm-hmm.
Down 7-3. Go, oh, this is okay. You rallied. That's great. They're down 7-3. From that point on, entering the bottom of the seventh, South Carolina goes on to outscore Clemson. They score. Obviously, they went on to score 8 runs in that game, 7 on Saturday. So 15 runs for the Gamecocks. The Tigers tack on just 3 more the rest of the series. So the Gamecocks outscoring from the bottom of the whatever you want to say, the transition from the 7th inning stretch on to the end of yesterday's game. South Carolina finds those bats that had kind of gone quiet on Saturday night, had been quiet through the first 6 innings of Saturday's contest. And now we come in here and the pressure seems off. All of a sudden, South Carolina. Now, we've talked about this, Jamie Bradford and I, on Friday when you weren't here anymore, you left. We mentioned Chad Holbrook. He swept Clemson his final year. Didn't matter. Got fired. Monty Lee last year swept swept South Carolina. Didn't matter. He got fired at the end of the year. This means something today. And I've got a text in from my buddy Brian. We got a text on the text line. People are very thrilled. This one comes in from anonymous texter. It says, Carolina football, all caps, win, check mark. Men's basketball, win, check mark. Women's basketball, win, check mark. Baseball, win, check mark. This is our state. Go Gamecocks, beat Clemson. And that's where South Carolina fans are at this morning because, yeah, there's a lot to go, and the SEC is going to be difficult. But Preston, all of a sudden, the athletic department kind of looks around and goes, hey, big 3, big 4. Yeah, we took them down in everything.
And you never know when it's going to happen because I'm not sure if last year around the same time people would have been singing this tune. And that's why it's their job to do their jobs and your job as fans to do your job too. You can be critical. You can have your concerns. You can voice them and all of that. But those people in those positions, they can't really listen to you too much if they know what they're doing because things can change. And it's their job to keep the ship steady until things do. Now, what does it mean for the future? Who knows? I would just say as Gamecock fans, enjoy this right now because who knows when it's coming back around.
It was certainly a fun weekend because not only that, but you also tack on as it's being replayed right here in front of us. Dawn Staley and the women, well, they go up. And again, I'd said this a little bit on Friday as they were getting ready for that noon game. Most of the time, Dawn Staley's elevated this program to where this is kind of a tune-up. The SEC championship is nice. It's nice to have. It's a nice little piece of hardware to add. But now your main focus has become the national championship. But I think because of what happened last year, losing to Kentucky, this one took on a little added meaning. And there they are, number 7, the SEC tournament champions. And they will roll into the NCAA tournament undefeated, 32-0, and the number 1 overall seed.
Well, this is the point in the season where you can't avoid it. You can't avoid what the expectation is. We've kind of slow played it throughout the year, but at this point, you're undefeated going into the tournament. The expectation is to win the championship, and that's a very difficult position for them to be in. To be clear, but that's just where we are. Right? Well, anything less than a championship, unfortunately, will be a disappointment for this team.
I was going to ask you. About that. Like how much we just talked about pressure.
Mm-hmm.
This is different because now we all look at this and honestly, and it's unfair.
It is.
But it's what has been built, and this is a great thing. If they don't win the national championship, it's a disappointing season.
That's just where it is. And that's
That's a high bar.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But it's congratulations because you have the privilege of having pressure. There's a lot of teams where nobody cares or there are no expectations. They've played themselves into this position. Think about, like the New England Patriots that year, the undefeated team. That was probably the best team that program that Bill Belichick has had, but they didn't finish. And it just leaves a little bit of a mark on that legacy of a dynasty. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but that's just where the expectations are for the women.
So the women will get a chance to rest now, recover, recuperate. They'll get to they actually get a 2-week gap to celebrate now. I shouldn't say a 2-week gap, but we'll get the pairings next Sunday there for them. I think it's Sunday or Monday. I'll have to look that up and see exactly when it is because they've moved that selection show around a little bit. But we'll get that. They get a week off now. The men, well, if you didn't celebrate enough from the women winning the SEC championship, if you didn't celebrate enough from the baseball team winning the rivalry series, then you had a chance to celebrate the men closing out. Nobody's going to celebrate what happened as a whole this season, but I also think you can look at it and go, hey, Lamont Paris showed me some things in the month of February, and this team played better aside from one absolute demolishing loss. I mean, just got run out of the building in Tennessee. Let's not hide from that. But, hey, this team played better down the stretch.
I've said it before, and I keep saying it again. There's plenty of opportunities for bad teams to quit. And it's a testament to the coach and the staff and the players that they never packed it in for the season. Because, again, this team is not very good. That's fine. But they continue to play, and they continue to win games throughout the season when, quite frankly, it would be a lot easier to just wait till next year. And they deserve some credit for that. Nobody's celebrating. Again, we're not jumping up and down and celebrating less than mediocrity. That's not what I'm saying. But to keep it together for the end of the year is an accomplishment that they can build on.
Yeah, I mean, let's be clear. These wins did come against the 13 seed in the SEC tournament, Mississippi, the 14 seed in LSU, and the 11 seed in Georgia. They beat the bottom. But
who are they?
Hey, you beat the bottom portion of the. You didn't. Those were. It's easy to say, oh, hey, and because on top of that, you go, okay, well, you lost by 2 to Alabama in overtime. Could have won that one. You played Mississippi State pretty strongly in Starkville. At least that showed improvement. I get it. Again, the Tennessee game, complete blowout. Not trying to sell anybody on the fact that South Carolina started ramping up and knocking off NCAA tournament teams, but again, you saw some improvement there from earlier in the season. I think you can build on that. So a great weekend overall for South Carolina athletics. Was certainly a weekend that a lot of people will want to brag about and talk about. If you want to be a part of the program this morning, 803-404-6100. That's how you can weigh in and join us this morning. If you want to be a part, you can hit us up on the Firehouse Subs text line or on the Love Chevy phone lines. As also pointed out to me, I probably should pay better attention, Preston, that women's softball continues to dominate. They rolled right through the weekend. A nice little 4-0 stretch at the Gamecock Invitational, taking down Columbia, Illinois, North Carolina A&T, and UNC Wilmington yesterday. So the women's softball team continuing its hot start, 19-2 on the season. So just really probably should have paid better attention and just made it a big donut morning here. We just had donuts to celebrate all the great things to talk about. Again, 803-404-6100 is how you can be a part of the program. If you want to join us, he's Preston Thorne. I'm Bill Gunner. She's Jen Jensen. The good news was I discovered also, if you want to continue the celebration going, Reggie Anderson did not win the Corley Pool Solutions Checkered Cup or Checkered Flag Challenge, and apparently he was much closer to doing so than I realized.
Yeah, he was, boy. At 4 laps to go, a caution came out, but had that not happened, Kyle Larson would have won that race, and Reggie would have had 2 wins on the season.
A glorious weekend all the way around. Just a glorious.
Went from
great
first
weather.
to last. First to last.
First to last.
Last week, he's riding high and all about, I'm the man, I'm the master. I can pick these cars, no problem. Yeah, he's dead last this week.
How much? Oh, you just talking about did Logano crash early? Is that what happened?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, that took him out.
So it's not a good feeling when you get home. We'd been in Greenville. You get home and I cut it on and there's 40 laps. It says 40 laps left in the race, and it's got 1 through 16, and I don't see Logano in there, and then it scrolls to the next 7 or 8, like you don't see Logano, and I'm like, well, yes, I'm not going to be watching the last 40 laps of this one. All right, what's golf? What's happening in the golf now? All right, flip over to that. So
Yeah, the big NASCAR fan that he is.
Yeah,
I don't see my guy. I'm out.
yeah, completely
he
checked
did.
out. Well,
He went out kind of early.
it's not even that I didn't see again. Like it's one thing if he's like say 26th or 27th, you're like, all right, fight and work me up here a little bit, Preston. When you don't see him, you're like, yeah, his car's not running anymore on the track.
Yeah, there's a really good chance. Yeah, he was at one. He was out early. Yep, he was dead last.
There you go. So we'll get to all that. A lot to discuss from the weekend. Preston Thorns, Buds, and Roses coming up at the 8 o'clock hour. Jamie Bradford on from 7 to 8 o'clock this morning. And again, anything you want to weigh in with, 803-404-6100. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
We are very social. At 107.5 The Game on Twitter, 107.5 The Game on Instagram, and 107.5 The Game on Facebook.
Oh, Teddy, did you get my friend request? Oh, I'll have to check.
Your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
This time of year, weather can be a little cool. I'll give you an example. I had the air conditioner on yesterday. Came home from soccer, wanted to hang out and relax, cut the air conditioner on, felt great. Left it on last night, got up this morning. It was in the mid-60s. You know what happened? Heat went right on. So this time of year, your heating and air unit is getting a workout. And if it's starting to make some questionable noises, it's time to contact AAA Heating and Air. 803-677-1500. They were out at my house 3 weeks ago. We got the brand new heating and air unit put in. And last night, kept us nice and cool during a warm afternoon. And then this morning, because I'd left the air conditioner on overnight, warmed us up very, very quickly. Very pleased with how AAA Heating and Air, their technicians, highly trained experts at what they do, were able to come out and get it installed. They were able to do a nice cleanup. Absolutely fantastic work, and I highly recommend if you're thinking about getting a heating and air unit now at your house, if you need to upgrade, you need to get a new one, it's time to contact AAA Heating and Air, 803-677-1500. They guarantee financing for everybody, not just those of you with great credit. They offer you a $1,500 rebate to buy back your old unit. And the best part, they offer you a 15-year parts and labor warranty to make sure that even after installation, that heating and air unit is still working properly. So contact AAA Heating and Air today, 803-677-1500. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. The NFL Players Association last week issued its first ever team report cards, folks. The union had players rate their team's treatment of family, nutrition, weight room, strength staff, training room, training staff, locker room, and travel protocols. So the results are in. Minnesota, Miami, and Vegas graded out highest. Will this affect relocation decisions by free agents? I'm Boomer Esiason.
Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Wendy's home-style French toast sticks are so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me, did you just say Wendy's French toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Do you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes? Good news. There's a new way out. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. Call U.S. Tax Shield, A+ rated with the BBB, 800-391-5063 for your free consultation and let U.S. Tax Shield protect you from the IRS.
Sponsored by South Carolina Education Lottery. Did you know that since 2002, more than 2.4 million lottery-funded scholarships such as Life Hope and Palmetto Fellow scholarships have been awarded to South Carolina students? Playing for fun is a win for education. Visit SCEducationLottery.com/educationwins for more info.
All right, class, it's the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship. Welcome to Fandom 101. You think you got the heart to get your squad through the Sweet 16 and Elite 8? Here's your assignment. Lesson 1, go big for every bucket. 2, work in groups. And 3, attendance is encouraged, but passion is mandatory. The regional round, March 24th to 27th at Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/WBB tickets. Class dismissed.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring sergeants and lieutenants statewide. If you have correctional, security, military, or police experience, you can join SCDC as a sergeant or lieutenant. There's $7,500 sign-on bonuses, increased pay, and great employee benefits available. Start your new year off with a new career. Visit joinscdc.com to apply today or call 803-734-JOBS for more information. Join the McDaniels Automotive Group.
It's coming. Morning, everybody. Just awesome to hear, Robin. That's awesome.
South Carolina will keep its perfect season alive. We'll move to 32-0 on the season, defeating Tennessee in the SEC Tournament Championship game. Your final score from Greenville this afternoon: South Carolina 74, Tennessee 58.
That was the call yesterday. The Gamecocks wrap up another SEC tournament championship. Obviously, they had already wrapped up the regular season championship. I said it a couple weeks ago, and I even saw a couple people still retweeting it last night. I said it after being at Colonial Life Arena a week ago Sunday when Dawn Staley's team wrapped up their regular season with a victory over Georgia and put an exclamation point on an undefeated regular season and a perfect conference record. But, Preston, I still think at times we don't appreciate the greatness. Oh, they went undefeated. Well, they're really good. They should do that. No, teams slip up. Like, even in football, I think sometimes people take for granted how difficult it is to go undefeated, how difficult it is as a former player. In college, you can speak to this, to get yourself up night in, night out when you're getting everybody's best shot.
Yeah, and that's the deal, is that every team, it's their chance to beat the team that's on the top of the hill. And so you always get everybody's best shot. They prepare for you better. They know you better than everybody else. You are everybody else's rival. So for them to continuously do that throughout the year is a tremendous achievement. The flip side of that achievement is now we all have the gravity of, could this be the best team ever? Could this be the team? So congratulations to them, because they've earned the right to be considered amongst the greats, and now they have to finish.
It was absolutely incredible. 7th tournament title in school history, all of them since 2015, the 74-58 with victory over Tennessee at Bonds Coors Arena yesterday. Some of y'all being up there and checking it out. Zaya Cook yesterday, 24 points. SEC tournament MVP Aaliyah Boston with 18 yesterday. Again, I just encourage people, because I feel like this happens where we just go, yeah, that's what they should do. No. Maybe they should win the championship. Maybe they should win the tournament championship because they're the best team. To have them go undefeated like that, to just basically be running roughshod over who they play. I think we get caught up at some point and we don't recognize greatness in the moment. You don't appreciate it as it's happening because you come to expect it.
And also this group of women, we won't see them again. So they're seniors, and we have grown with them. You see their games develop. You see them develop as people. And that's one of the things I think that people say is missing from the men's game, is that you don't get that familiarity with the players. And so to watch this team develop and watch people's games develop and watch the women add a new wrinkle to their game, or watch Zaya use different techniques than she used to use before. It's part of the fun of enjoying the last push as this team goes to finish it out.
803-404-6100. A man who had a great weekend, probably just laid in the recliner, just had liver pudding and grits delivered to him all weekend, maybe some bacon. Gamecock Larry, I even got a text message that said Gamecock hockey beat Clemson over the weekend. I didn't see that on Twitter. That's how good of a weekend it was. I'm glad you have stopped partying long enough to join us this morning. How you feeling, young man?
Oh, I feel okay, but I'll tell you what, I'm getting old, 88, but I'll tell you what, I don't want to say, but anyway, I had a great weekend, a great year in football, basketball, baseball, hockey, all that. Clemson, we own the state. We own the state this year. But I'm going to tell you what happened to me this weekend. Saturday afternoon, I got 2 radios. I got one on this other station, it's the Clemson station, that come on from 6 to 8 after 107 goes off the air. So I put it on this Clemson station and listen to old Phil Kornblut and all them Clemson guys. Well, Thursday afternoon, I put it on the Clemson station, and I got to talk to Phil. And old Phil said, I'm going to tell you something, Larry. Said, what we going to do? Said, we're going to make you sing Tiger Rag Monday afternoon after we sweep the Gamecocks. I said, I don't even know Tiger Rag, but you know what? I'm gonna think some kind of rag when I can call them back this afternoon. And then to top it all off, Saturday afternoon, the men's basketball was on, and they was playing a rough game with Georgia. And guess what? Oh, Gamecock Larry had to listen to the baseball game on that Clemson station when he wasn't listening to the Gamecock basketball team. I had to listen to a Clemson announcer. Oh, they got 7-4. That's the hammer. That's it. But boy, when they come back, and I tell you what, I got so much. I won't call that station this afternoon, but the good Lord's willing, from 6 to 4, and I'm gonna make some kind of Tiger Rag. I don't know what the Tiger Rag is, but I'm gonna send them a bunch of dish rags or something. We have owned Clemson in everything this year, and I'll tell you what, it makes me feel good. I feel good. Now we got to win 6 more, and that is a hard basketball's a lot harder than football because you only got 12 or 14 games. Basketball is about 2 games a week for a long time, 30, 40, 35 games or something. And you got to be ready to go every second or third night. But Don Staley is a great coach. But that old Gamecock lad, get off here. I done lost my oxygen thing. Let me get off here. I'll talk to you all later. I love all y'all. Go Gamecocks. Go Gamecocks. Love all y'all. Talk to you later, Bill Jim and Preston. Go Gamecocks.
There's a happy man. I just want to point out something he said very early in that. And I just want to tell all, there's a lot of you out there. We've had this show and we'll do it again in June or July or August as we get closer. There's a lot of you who have those great television setups at your house. Maybe you have 2, 3 televisions. Maybe Preston's going to tell you about a company here in a few minutes that can maybe do that. None of you hold a candle to Gamecock Larry's 2 radio setup.
And, I guess we need to also give him a heads up that we have other stations in our group where he could listen, so he doesn't have to be tortured ever again.
None of you have anything on Gamecock Larry with his 2 radios set up in the living room. Preston will tell you how to get so many different TVs in your home through a company he knows. But don't for a second ever think you're topping the tailgate setup, the game listening setup of two radios.
It's amazing.
2 radios going at the same time. 803-404-6100. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
The 107.5 The Game Spring Golf Classic is coming Friday, March 24th at Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia. Call Charwood at 803-755-2000 to register. It's $100 a person, $400 a team. We'll have autographed gear from Gamecock athletes, and one person will win season tickets to all remaining USC baseball games. Lunch provided by Firehouse Subs. The 107.5 The Game Spring Classic, Friday, March 24th. Call Charwood at 803-755-2000 to register. From your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
All right, it's time. It's time to get ready for the spring. It's here. Get ready with Integrated Media. They can take care of all of your media needs for this summer. Samsung Terrace TVs, get them waterproof. You need outdoor speakers for your dual radio setup like Gamecock Larry? They can do it. They can take care of TV and music. Wi-Fi that works indoors. What's the over and under on Larry having Wi-Fi outside?
Under.
Okay, we'll take the under. Take the under on that. Well, Integrated Media can take care of that for you. They can control all your devices from just one remote. From home theater setup to adjusting your thermostat or monitoring your security systems from your cell phone, Integrated Media is the company to call. Call Nathan and Michael at 803-948-8327. That's 803-948-8327. Or you can get them online at integratedmediainc.com. That's online at integratedmediainc.com.
United Way of the Midlands is hosting its inaugural Books and Brackets College Basketball Challenge for as little as a $10 donation. You'll play for good and feel good, knowing proceeds support childhood literacy through the Midlands Reading Consortium and the Asia Wilson Foundation. Grand prizes include a Rolex watch or a 2023 Buick Envision, and other prizes ranging from a Dell laptop to a number of gift cards. Submit your bracket today at uway.org/BNB. It's the United Way Books and Brackets Basketball Challenge.
How would you like to drive a new car with no payments for 3 full months? That's exactly what you can do when your car loan is with State Credit Union. Visit one of their 19 branches or their website for details. Apply for your new car loan online at scscu.com. That's scscu.com. Offer not available for internal refinances. Terms and conditions apply. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by the NCUA.
I'm Clemson head football coach Dabo Sweeney. My friends at the South Carolina Forestry Commission want your help in canceling wildfires this year, or at least the ones caused by humans, which are about 90% of all wildfires. Careless outdoor debris burning, lax campfire safety, and improper vehicle and equipment use are the leading causes of wildfires in South Carolina. And these wildfires end up destroying an average of 10,000 acres of forest land every year. Think before you burn. Let's cancel wildfires, South Carolina.
Sponsored by the South Carolina Forestry Commission, the South Carolina Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hi, I'm Mike Ham with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. 319 prospects, 4 days, one story. It was speed. No one improved their stock more on day one than Georgia's Nolan Smith, who ran the fastest 40 time for an edge rusher in combine history, clocking in at a 4.39. Day two, Michigan corner DJ Turner showed out a 4.26 40. That's the fastest of the weekend. Day three, it was the quarterbacks, and Anthony Richardson, he was the story of the combine. Not only did he break a quarterback record for the vertical and the broad jump, he ran a blazing 4.43 40. Not to be outdone was Ohio State's CJ Stroud, who showed some touch, timing, and ball placement. That's got him in the conversation for the top pick in April's draft. And then day four, all eyes on Texas running back Bijan Robinson. He ran a 4.46 40. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to three key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Online at CordellCordell.com. 1201 Main Street, Suite 840, Columbia, South Carolina, 29201. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
3 people you should be 100% certain about: your barber, your plumber, and your tax pro. Switch to Jackson Hewitt and you can be 100% certain about your taxes. We'll get you your maximum refund guaranteed, and we'll back your return for life. Don't be kind of certain or almost certain. Be 100% certain. Switch to Jackson Hewitt today and get 50% off tax prep. Limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
107.5 The Game traffic. Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections. South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and a happy Monday to you. Starting out the new work and school week, we're going to take a check on First Alert traffic, and as we see it early on today, not getting any main slowdowns or accidents to report on, at least that could be causing a big slowdown for you. Make sure, again, you keep on listening, checking back for more updates, of course, to travel information you need to know that could be pertinent to your day. This has been a WIS First Alert traffic update, and I'm WIS meteorologist Tony Chiavaroli.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
Eight 803-404-6100. How you can join us as we get you up and going this morning. A Monday morning that should make Gamecock fans more than happy to wear their garnet and black to the office today. Rub it in your Clemson coworker's face. Maybe you've got a Georgia coworker who needs a little being humbled after South Carolina wins in basketball. Maybe you've got a Tennessee coworker that needs to be reminded that Dawn Staley's team wins the SEC championship again. I don't know. There was a bunch of wins for the softball team over the weekend. Gamecock hockey won. Am I leaving anything out? Was there any? I look forward to. I don't know what your thorns are going to be from the weekend. I have one. I actually have one that's
got to be about Aaron Rodgers.
Let's go.
Okay.
Did he see his shadow?
I think it was only in there. Maybe was it 2 days, 2 or 3 days? But then there was some commentary he made about his digestive system, and yeah, it's like, dude, you just have to know when to stop.
He's moving up the list of weirdest sports athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's weird in an annoying way. It's not weird like, oh, that's cute, or it's just really he's just becoming more and more annoying.
Because he really thinks people care that much to hear those things from him.
But there's athletes. I think there's athletes like that just. I think Kyrie Irving for the longest time felt that we needed to know everything that he thought.
Well, Kyrie's on that list also.
Yeah, like
There you go.
like And here's the odd thing: these are not dumb individuals.
Oh, no.
Kyrie Irving is I remember meeting him during what I would say his sane days, but during doing basketball recruiting and having to do an interview with him prior to going to Duke. He's a smart cat and was very eloquent in how he spoke at 16, 17 years old, whatever. Like, he wasn't just, and trust me, there's some interviews I've done with high school kids where they're smart, but you put a mic in front of their face and you just ask the simple question like, hey, what official visits are you taking? They're like, Fruit Loops. Like, no. Like, I've had some bad interviews just trying to get some simple. Kyrie Irving was incredibly smart, but it looks like it caught up to him. Aaron Rodgers, it looks like it's catching up to him.
These guys, yes, they are smart, but it's like, okay, we get it. We get it. You're smart. Also, there's other smart people in the world too. You're not the smartest person. You're not the only person to ever have read a book, Aaron. Like, come on, man. Relax. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may be the greatest quarterback ever. We could have that discussion, but relax on everything else.
I think he is relaxed. Maybe he's too relaxed.
That might be it. That might be it. But yeah, Kyrie and Aaron would make the most annoying dinner guests that you could have.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine them doing a podcast? I'm fantastic. No, I'm fantastic.
Aaron Rodgers with Pat McAfee is enough for me. Like,
no, right?
They work each other. No, I was actually thinking more of, if you haven't seen this stuff with Ja Morant, and what's going, like, I like Ja Morant. I'm a big fan of Ja Morant. I've said it. He is, like, if you go across the spectrum of sports, and this is kind of where I'm at today, and I've said this multiple times, more so in the last 9-10 months. Like, you have your hard-earned money. Going to sporting events is not getting cheaper by the day. It's getting more and more expensive. And there's a lot of you out there, as you're driving to work here at 6:41 in the morning, you got to go make your hard-earned money, and you got to make decisions in your life. Okay, I'm gonna pay the bill, or am I gonna go watch a football game? How am I gonna do this? And so it's easy to watch them on television. Who would you spend your hard-earned money on to go watch play sports now? Ja Morant is up there in my book. He might go 4 for 21, but it's going to be pretty electric, and you're going to see maybe one highlight dunk. Ja Morant is living tone deaf to the rest of American sports right now with some of these gun things that are coming up with him.
Yeah, 100%, and that's definitely something I will address.
Good.
Because he feels personal to us because he feels like he's ours,
and he's kind of represented the state. Even though he went to Murray State, he's not been afraid to represent South Carolina.
And that's where I guess this story is not just because it's the most electrifying player in the NBA. And here's the thing about Ja, which is so interesting. When I travel around to these schools and I ask the young folks who their favorite player is, it's Ja by miles, and it's because of the way he plays. Shooting 3-pointers is great. It's awesome, but there's nothing can replace a little man going up and trying to dunk on people. That is exciting. It's electrifying when you watch him play. And he is, like you said, he's one of the players that every night he puts it on the line on the court. Unfortunately, his off-the-court antics are catching up with him right now.
It's like he's taking advantage. If you don't know, on Friday night, Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, I think it was 5:41, he posted a Instagram video of himself at a club. He's shirtless. He's rapping along, and he's waving a gun in his left hand, waving a gun in the crowd. I mean, look, I know maybe we discussed it a lot because Alabama was coming here with Brandon Miller, and so it was directly happening just a mile away over at Colonial Life Arena. But that is not paying attention at all, and that's not the first time. There has been some other issues with Ja Morant and gun issues.
Well, yeah, it's been a terrible week. It's a week of information that's led up to this point where it built up to this. There was an article in the Washington Post. There was reports on incidents. He's currently being sued by somebody that he allegedly assaulted. So it was all bad. And then and here's the point, Bill, he made it worse. It's not as if he got somebody just randomly had their phone out and recorded it. He posted it by himself. That's silly.
Yeah, it's so. Yeah, I'll let you get to that.
We got it though. We will cover it.
It's just that Preston's Thorns, Buds, and Roses coming up at 8 a.m. this morning. But the basketball team, again, the baseball team, all of everything for South Carolina. Nothing but roses. So that should take up the whole segment of that. But let's listen to Mark Kingston talk a little bit about the confidence his team has coming off of the weekend, going into the weekend, and then coming out of the weekend after winning 2 of 3 against Clemson.
I really do. I was asked the question in this venue a few days ago, what's changed over the years. And I've decided that I'm going to try to do everything I can to, number one, enjoy this rivalry this weekend. But as a coach, I need to do that more than I have. I'm getting to the age now where I need to enjoy what I get to do. And I'm trying to do that in terms of the relationships with our players. I'm trying not to make it life and death like it can feel sometimes. And yeah, I think but that being said, it's also a confidence in the ball club we have that we can bounce back and that we would bounce back.
Again, from the top of the 7th, I should say going into the bottom of the 7th on Saturday, Clemson holds a 7-3 lead. South Carolina's coming to bat, bottom of the 7th. From that point on, South Carolina outscores Clemson 15-3. The team, it's like they took a punch. Preston, you've seen this, and on the other side, I'm going to ask you to kind of relate back to this. In a game, you go out and you get punched, and you go, oh, and you stagger a little bit. You're on the ropes, and then you bounce back. I'll get your take on that when we come back. Let you kind of relate it back to your playing days. You're listening to Preston Thorne, Bill Gunner. She's Jen Jensen. It's the early game. 107.5 The Game.
Here's what's coming up on The Game.
The Gamecocks start their quest to win the 2023 SEC Tournament. Friday, 11:30 a.m. pregame, noon tip-off.
Your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right price. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Tired of paying over MSRP for new vehicles? Then come to Herndon Chevrolet and smile with a great selection of new Chevrolets on the ground at invoice pricing. We have new Chevrolets starting at only $23,998. Visit your hometown Chevy dealer today or find new roads online at HerndonChevy.com.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile. Smile.
Call 864-262-6760 for complete details.
Metz Plumbing is growing and looking for exceptional plumbers and apprentices. If you enjoy helping people in our community, if you want a flexible work schedule, if you're looking to earn $85,000 to $100,000 per year, plus benefits and paid time off, if you want free training in order to become a licensed plumber, and if you're ready for a rewarding career as part of a family, then we want to talk to you. For information, call Tammy at 732-DRIP or apply online at metsplumbing.com.
732-DRIP.
How would you like to drive a new car with no payments for 3 full months? That's exactly what you can do when your car loan is with State Credit Union. Visit one of their 19 branches or their website for details. Apply for your new car loan online at scscu.com. That's scscu.com. Offer not available for internal refinances. Terms and conditions apply. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
When you think about spring, good stuff springs to mind. You know, like spring break. Woohoo! A friend springing for drinks.
Thanks, dude.
A spring in your step. Spring fever.
Oh, behave.
And best of all, spring water dough pizza from the Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
Yeah, baby.
Experience the taste of spring with our amazing hand-tossed pies, spring fresh salads, and over 100 beers from around the world. Enjoy spring at the Mellow Mushroom in the Vista and on Sunset in Lexington.
Is your tub worn out, but you're not sure who to trust to replace it? With over 2 million successful bath remodels, people trust Bathfitter because we know how to do it right. We've been custom designing and manufacturing baths for over 35 years. Our unique tub-over-tub installation takes as little as a day with no demo to fit your busy schedule. And we offer a lifetime warranty on every tub. That's how confident we are in our quality and durability. Bathfitter, it just fits. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Get the right care at the right place. Visit Lexington Medical Center's convenient urgent care centers for minor illnesses and injuries, and use our emergency room for emergencies. Go to lexmed.com/care now to know where to go for the care you need now.
107.5 The Game traffic. Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections. South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and happy Monday to you. Starting out the new work and school week, we're going to take a check on First Alert traffic, and as we see it early on today, not getting any main slowdowns or accidents to report on, at least that could be causing a big slowdown for you. Make sure, again, you keep on listening, checking back for more updates, of course, to travel information you need to know that could be pertinent to your day. This has been a WIS First Alert traffic update, and I'm WIS meteorologist Tony Chivaroli.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game. A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The Early Game with Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
Reminder, coming up March 24th, it'll actually be the first opportunity for you to catch Preston and myself out together. Jen will have to actually work here and, produce the show. But March 24th, Preston and I will be out at Charwood Golf Club bright and early, getting you going for the 107.5 The Game Spring Golf Classic at Charwood Golf Club. You can call today to register. 803-755-2000. Again, it's 803-755-2000. $100 per person, $400 per team. We'll have autographed gear from Gamecock Athletics. One person will win season tickets to all remaining South Carolina baseball games. Lunch will be provided by Firehouse Subs. So you can sign up or you can just come visit us and hang out in the, depends on the weather. We'll either be in the clubhouse or we'll be outside. Done it from both places, both inside and outside, except for the one morning where we were forced to do it outside because Rock forgot we were coming. And it was in November, and it was cold, and we had to do the show outside.
Oof. Bad business. It was rough. Yeah, that's
It was a rough morning.
Yeah.
But he got in, and we still laughed about it. He's taking a Rock and Daniel have taken care of us every other. They always take care of us, and so we look forward to partnering again with Charwood Golf Club. March 24th, the 107.5 The Game Spring Golf Classic. 803-755-2000 is how you can register. We mentioned we'll give away baseball tickets there. It's going to be interesting to see how this baseball team now they get a 3-game series, Preston, with Bethune-Cookman. Let's go back. They're going to play tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Play Citadel tomorrow night. We'll actually give away some tickets in the next hour to that. But they'll play the Citadel 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Wednesday night they'll play USC Upstate back in Greenville, Floor Field, and then a 3-game homestand against Bethune-Cookman this coming weekend before getting going with a trip to Georgia next weekend to start SEC play. Let's go back. You're getting beat in a football game. You've played baseball too, so you're familiar with both sides of that. You're losing. Is it what translates to making a comeback? Is it one player stepping up and being a leader? Is it a key play? What do you think is more important when you see a turnaround like we saw with South Carolina going from losing the first game 5-2. Matter of fact, if you do the numbers on it, they were outscored through the first 16 innings, 12-5, I believe is the quick math on that. 7 and 5 is 12. Yeah, Gamecocks scored 2 and 3 is 5. So 12-5. And then after that, they outscore Clemson 15-3. As a college player, is there something that you find where it flips the switch?
Yeah, that's difficult because it's very easy. It's very easy to, again, I keep harping on this, but there's ample opportunities to fold at any time. And sometimes it can be a player. You look at your best player on the team and they make a play that gets everybody going. Sometimes it could be a play coming from maybe an unlikely source where everybody rallies around that person. The key in getting behind in those games is, as trite as it sounds, to just play one out at a time or get it one base at a time. Can we get a walk and start putting together? Sometimes in baseball, it might be somebody has a really tough at-bat. You know, they battle, and then they draw a walk, and all of a sudden they start a rally. Then the team, you know, you move them over. They make an error. Anything can happen. It's just the idea of we are in this thing until there's 27 outs, and that's kind of how you have to approach a baseball game. So baseball's the only sport with no real time limit, obviously. So anything can really happen. In other sports, sometimes you kind of looking at the clock like, well, we're running out of time a little bit to make something happen. But in baseball, you can always get things going.
In your experiences at Summerville, how does momentum like this carry over in baseball compared to football? Because again, we saw it firsthand in football where, yeah, you get drubbed by Florida, but then the momentum carried the football team through the next 2 games from whatever they did in Tennessee.
Again, that was an aberration.
Okay, all right.
The idea, but in baseball, since you play over and over again, it's easy to start climbing up the hill. It's easy to also slip off the cliff either. So I'd be interested to see. I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to see what's going on in the upstate, how they respond, because things could not be good up there.
No, they not. Clemson had lost 4 straight coming in. They've now lost 6 of their last 7. Obviously, Friday night, the difference in that. 803-404-6100. If you want to weigh in on the Firehouse Subs text line in the next hour, we'll give you a chance to win some baseball tickets to Tuesday night's contest against the Citadel. We'll be joined by Jamie Bradford. I'm sure he is also going to be almost similar to Gamecock Larry with his level of enthusiasm.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
And he had a birthday party for his twins.
That's right. Oh, yeah, we got to get in. Oh, yeah, we got to get into that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Definitely candidate for worst of the weekend.
A lot to do. Hour 2 on the way.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
This is Gamecock quarterback Spencer Rattler, and you're listening to 107.5 The Game, the home of the Gamecocks.
A Cumulus media station.
At Sherman, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Sherman, don't you soft on the potty. This is more, so roll it back, everybody. Sherman's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The cream is always stocked. It's our party vibe. So everybody wanna touch the sky.
Sherman Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Sherman.
Using your phone should never have to be a luxury. Walmart Family Mobile now offers free or discounted plans through the Affordable Connectivity Program. ACP is a government program that helps eligible Americans have access to wireless service. You could get unlimited talk, text, and 8 gigabytes of high-speed data for free when you qualify. Apply now at myfamilymobile.com/ACP. Walmart Family Mobile is supported by the Affordable Connectivity Program and Lifeline Government Assistance Programs. Please visit myfamilymobile.com/ACP for more information.
Text privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or apply. Opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass? Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text DIME to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text DIME to 200-300 right now. Text the word DIME to 200-300. Don't wait. Text DIME to 200-300.
United Way of the Midlands is hosting its inaugural Books and Brackets College Basketball Challenge for as little as a $10 donation. You'll play for good and feel good. Knowing proceeds support childhood literacy through the Midlands Reading Consortium and the Asia Wilson Foundation. Grand prizes include a Rolex watch or a 2023 Buick Envision and other prizes ranging from a Dell laptop to a number of gift cards. Submit your bracket today at uway.org/BNB. It's the United Way Books and Brackets Basketball Challenge.
Ugh, you can't park here. See the Schroeder's no parking sign? You're going to get towed.
No, I won't. Forget about it. They put those things up just to scare you. Come on, let's go.
So, where's the car, mister? Forget about it. Look, big spender, you go find your car. I'm getting an Uber.
Schroeder's offers free signage to deter unwanted parking. Make your business accessible to your customers. Call Schroeder's at 772-7930 or visit schroederstowing.com.
Schroeder's Towing, the best and fastest hookers in town.
Get ready for the madness of March with Zerust Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $119. Book online at ZerustColumbia.com.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game. Sponsored by the Power of Love Chevrolet. While the other dealers are scrambling for slick new catchphrases, we're doubling down on who we are and what we do. Honesty, transparency, and utmost integrity. Love Chevy. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads. The early game with Bill Gunter.
Age is now, and I'm 40. It's not like I'm 80. It's catching up to me, and this pollen has finally affected me to the point that I was driving up to Patriot. I don't know if I can talk for 3 hours. This is the first time I've been sick before.
Hallelujah chorus.
You say hallelujah, you get the last 2 hours. I'm fine with that.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
It is the big game, man. It's the big day. You got to gut through this one. I got faith in you.
And Jen Jensen.
He'll make it. He'll just whine through half of it. So that's how it's going to work.
On your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
.701 on a Monday morning. I'm actually in a great mood, but I was just going off on a rant during the break to both Preston and Jen about joggers at 5:30 in the morning. Like, I don't know if I want to go down this path. It's too good of a day. It's too nice of a day, and I don't want to be like man shakes fisted cloud guy here on what should be a very nice Monday morning. But I'm starting to have an issue with don't jog. Even if you've got the little highlighted get up that like makes you, I can see you and I'm paying attention, but don't jog in a 2-lane road, a back lanes 2-lane road where it's dark at 5:30, and for you to jog, you have to be in the road.
And I tell you what, it makes me extra nervous because, my father-in-law was walking alongside the road on his 58th birthday, and this has been 20 years ago. And there was somebody who was impaired driving and went off the road and struck him, and he didn't survive. And so anytime I see anybody just real close, even to the edge of the side of the road, it's like, oh my gosh, please just find someplace else. It just makes me so nervous.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with, look, I'm all for exercise.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Just be super careful.
Just do it on a side, not on a 2-lane road where the sides are tree lines. I'm already alert, especially where we live, where Jen and I where we're at. I have to be, I don't know if you have to deal with this, Preston, watching out for deer.
Oh yeah.
Not too much coming in this way.
Actually, I got stopped the other morning, and literally a family of 4, and they clearly were not in a rush.
No.
I mean, they were just looking around, taking it in. And
They're more than confident they could down our way. They're confident they could take on a car.
Correct.
They have there's a wild level of confidence that deer can take on a car. By the way, I got to get into a movie I watched last night.
Okay.
As well, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour.
All right.
And get y'all's take on it. The kids did not enjoy it. And I got to get into a movie discussion with y'all. 803-404-6100. Joined now by Jamie Bradford, who probably doesn't do much jogging unless he's celebrating Jamie, if you're a South Carolina fan, obviously you'd love to throw in a football victory. They just don't play this time of year. But, man, what an absolute great weekend for South Carolina athletics as a whole.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And no, I don't jog. I'm
I'm all done with that. I view running as punishment. Back to my old baseball days. So I bought a golf cart, and wherever I need to go, that's how I'm getting there. If it's in the neighborhood, I'm on 4 wheels. Generally not 2 feet. But yeah, man, what a weekend for the Gamecocks. Congratulations to the women and Coach Staley and her group. Still undefeated, once again, SEC tournament champions. The men with a win on senior day, they get Ole Miss in the first round. Of course, then they get through that, they get Tennessee. But let's focus on the positive. And then, of course, South Carolina baseball takes control of the state once again, and they take 2 of 3 from the Tigers. A combined record, by the way, between the softball program, who also swept through their weekend tournament, the baseball program, and the women's basketball program right now of 62-3, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for that stat. How about that? Preston's, that might slide its way into the roses in just a little while.
I like that.
Let's do this in terms of the baseball, because I think what's interesting here, and Preston and I kind of led off with it an hour ago, Jamie, is that Friday night was everything that South Carolina fans feared. Like, if you looked at the first 9 games and you said, man, look great, pitching's great, hitting has been fantastic. Here and there, you've had a little bit of a challenge, but everything's been great. But Friday night, you might be the guy saying, or the woman saying, yeah, we did that against awful competition, right? That Friday night game left a lot to be desired.
Well, yeah, it did. I mean, but this is baseball. I mean, this series actually played out exactly how I thought it would. And this might sound like revisionist history, or I'm making this up. I actually thought that they might drop Friday night's game and then they'd turn around and win the series. I really did. Because there are a bunch of dudes on this team that had never, first of all, there's a bunch of guys that have never actually even played on the road, and then let alone going into an environment like Clemson in this type of series. It's sticker shock almost. And, if a couple of things go wrong and you add that onto it, you had a good chance to lose the ball game. Will Sanders wasn't the Will Sanders that we all know that he's capable of being. I thought his performance would be a little bit better. Defensively, they were shaky. People are focused. The offense has been the focus of the year, but I think all 3 phases were contributing factors as to why they dropped that game. But I mean, the real story of the weekend is being down 7-3 on Saturday. Forget Friday. This team they're down, they come back and tie the game. Clemson turns around and tacks 4 more on it, 7-3, and you think, oh my God, what is going on here? They couldn't buy a big knock, and then the page turned, and balls were leaving the yard, and Cole Messina, set off the fire alarms in the building beyond left field. I mean, it was the rocket show that we've been getting used to here, and they hold on and win the game. And then yesterday, you could just feel that. You knew it was coming. I mean, I did. I'll be honest. Like, I knew that was coming. Carolina was going to win the game. They were going to play really well, and that place was going to be juiced. And that's exactly what happened. This is a good baseball team. Like, they've got some things they need to work through, but this is a good baseball team. People can say whatever they want about the Clemson record. That is irrelevant in this series. It is irrelevant in this rivalry. We've seen many, many times where the worst team got the better of the better team. It's about winning the series, and that's exactly what South Carolina did this weekend.
To go back to your point, I've been stating all morning, I use the middle of the seventh, Jamie, to win. It was 7-3, as you said. But I mean, if you go back to the end of the 5th, all right, so 14 innings of baseball played in that series. The middle of the end of the 5th, Clemson had outscored South Carolina 8-2. From that point on, South Carolina would outscore Clemson 8. It was, again, at that point, it was 3-0. The second game, the middle game of the day. So bear with me on that. But South Carolina outscores, you just mentioned, Clemson after the 5th inning on Saturday. South Carolina outscores them 18-7. And Preston, I go back to you, and Jamie, I'll let you two kind of debate that because you two are the baseball guys. Where does that come from? Is it just all of a sudden Preston settling in at the plate? Is it simple adjustments? Is it just feeling comfortable in the series? Where does Because that's a huge change. It's one thing to say, well, they won 11-9, and then it was a pitcher's duel the next day, and they won 1-0. As Jamie just said, the bats exploded.
Yeah, Jamie, I would love to hear your answer on this because you were in the building. Was there a turning point? Was there a change in approach? What do you think led to that turnaround for the team?
No, I don't think there was much of a change. I mean, I don't know that to be totally true, but didn't appear that way at all. You know, they continued to go up there and work counts and things like that. And you know, it's baseball. I mean, sometimes you just finally get a big knock. When you got a bunch of good players on your team, somebody's going to hit one eventually. And that's what happened, in addition to the fact that Clemson started to run out of pitching. But that's also baseball. Like, you know, there are only so many teams that have staffs like South Carolina. And a lot of those teams are certainly in the SEC. There's no doubt. But you also get to a point, guys, where, you know, it's just not going to be as good as it was. And so those two factors, I think, kind of collided, and you know, they got into a groove. And you know, these guys, you've been able to see one thing through 12 games. They certainly feed off of each other when it comes to hitting the baseball. You know, once they kind of get going, everybody kind of gets going. That could be a good thing, and it can also actually be a really bad thing. You got to have somebody who can go against the norm when it's not going well. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of collided. Arms kind of started to run dry. Carolina got hot, and from there, it was over.
One thing that I took away from the weekend, and I'm going to get Jamie your MVP, and we'll talk about a few players in particular. All of a sudden, I love the Sunday combo of Jack Mahoney and James Hicks. Like I don't feel like you're asking Mahoney to do too much. He threw 4 innings yesterday, gave up 4 hits, struck out 4, walked 2. Then you bring James Hicks in, who gives up 2 hits, walks 1, strikes out 6. Real quick, you guys' thoughts on that combination on Sunday, especially when you get to SEC play. Hicks has done it. He's been around. Mahoney was a guy that they loved. Like, I love this 1-2 punch they've got to wrap up the weekend, especially if Noah Hall continues to throw like he's thrown. If we all expect Will Sanders to come back and be fine. You just mentioned that plan. But, man, those two sitting there waiting on Sunday to kind of team up in some form or fashion, I love that.
Yeah, well, so I certainly. I mean, I don't know that that's going to be like some type of duo. I think that James Hicks, I mean, if he has to come in that role on a Friday night, that's where you're going to see him. If it requires him to come in and he needs to eat 3 or 4 innings to win the game, you know, he'll do that on Friday. He'll do that on Saturday. He'll do that on Sunday, wherever he's needed to win the game. And you just kind of hope that it revolves around winning the series as well. Because that's obviously the best position. So if you win a Friday night game and then you need to go to him on Saturday early, you're going to feel really, really good about that. But he's certainly that guy, and he's also a guy that is going to be very capable of stepping in and starting. His stuff, Preston, his stuff's good. I think if you noticed one thing this weekend, we've noticed it throughout the season in college baseball, it's turned very, very emotional. Both of these teams this weekend were very emotional. Clemson started chirping at Messina on Saturday night when he hit that ball off the moon, basically. If there wasn't a building there, it would have gone to the moon. You know, so you get a lot of that, and then here's James Hicks. Like, I don't mean to age us here, dude, because we're really not that old, but it almost feels like from our era. You know, casual 1, 2, 3 inning, just walks off the mound, no big deal, like the old days of baseball. And so his stuff and his demeanor, I just love watching him pitch. It's really good.
It was a good weekend all the way around. We'll get into a little bit of the women's basketball team. We're watching it replayed here. They just threw up the stats from this class, and I pointed at Preston. They're worth repeating again. The stats of Aaliyah Boston and the other seniors, the freshies as they nicknamed themselves. I tell you what, it's unbelievable, and they've claimed another SEC tournament championship. We'll get into that with Jamie. Might even take him back down the path of Aaron Rodgers and see who else he deems as one of the odder athletes out there in this day and age. We'll go a couple different ways this morning as we roll along. You're listening to Jamie Bradford. He's Preston Thorne. I'm Bill Gunner. She is Jen Jensen. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
The 1075 The Game Spring Golf Classic is coming Friday, March 24th at Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia. Call Charwood at 803-755-2000 to register. It's $100 a person, $400 a team. We'll have autographed gear from Gamecock athletes, and one person will win season tickets to all remaining USC baseball games. Lunch provided by Firehouse Subs. The 1075 The Game Spring Classic, Friday, March 24th. Call Charwood at 803-755-2000 to register. From your home of the Gamecocks, 1075 The Game.
It's Preston here with Absolute Glass, the premier glass company of the Midlands, offering auto, home, and business glass repair. If your glass is damaged, shattered, cracked, or broken, they can handle the job, and they'll come to you and give you a free quote. Cracked windshields? No problem. They'll come out to your location and replace it for you, usually for free, and they'll work directly with your insurance company to take away the headache. If you're looking to increase the value of your home with new windows or mirrors, Absolute Glass will come out and take care of all of that for you. Windows, mirrors, shower enclosures. As you hear me say all the time, if you can see through it, Ray and Marianne at Absolute Glass can do it. So check them out online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com. That's online at AbsoluteInc.com.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. Minnesota, Miami, and Las Vegas graded out highest in an NFL Players Association workplace conditions survey. By contrast, Washington got an F- rating in the training room, locker room, and of course, team travel categories. Super Bowl champion Kansas City apparently suffers training room deficiencies and forces some players to have road trip roommates. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Don't miss Power Torque Tools DIY days now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Power Torque hand tools come with a lifetime guarantee. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk, I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill each morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
One pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Do you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes? Good news. There's a new way out. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. Call U.S. Tax Shield, A+ rated with the BBB, 800-391-5063 for your free consultation, and let U.S. Tax Shield protect you from the IRS.
Sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right. Everything you earn, double. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all double. Seriously, though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
At Kroger, shopping with pickup and delivery is the same as shopping in-store. Same low prices, deals, and rewards on the same high-quality items. It's one small click for groceries, one big win for busy families everywhere. Start your cart today at Kroger.com. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Save every day on fresh dinner ideas. Right now, fresh Atlantic salmon whole fillets are a great deal at only $8.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Uneven sidewalks, pool decks, or patios? Canty can repair them for just a fraction of the cost of replacement. Call Canty Foundation Specialists today for your free estimate.
Canty can fix it.
Uneven concrete can be a dangerous tripping hazard leading to injury. Call the experts at Canty to permanently repair your sinking or cracked concrete. Call 753-1495 or visit CantyCanFixIt.com. Canty can fix it.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart, and I have a question for you. You know that unwelcome guest everyone wishes would just leave already? That's COVID-19. That's why I got an updated booster designed to help protect against recent Omicron variants. Got it? Check eligibility and schedule your updated COVID booster at vaccines.gov. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
No one in the wrestling business has experienced the trials and tribulations, along with redemptions and longevity quite like Jeff Jarrett. Come along for the ride on the My World with Jeff Jarrett podcast.
They didn't really brand belts in the heyday of boxing. You know, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, they had them, but along comes sports entertainment, professional wrestling, and now it is truly a part of pop culture. They've just branded what it looks like to be a champion.
My World with Jeff Jarrett, wherever you listen.
107.5 The Game traffic. Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections. South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and a happy Monday to you. Starting out the new work and school week, we're going to take a check on First Alert traffic, and as we see it early on today, not getting any main slowdowns or accidents to report on, at least that could be causing a big slowdown for you. Make sure, again, you keep on listening, checking back for more updates, of course, to travel information you need to know that could be pertinent to your day. This has been a WIS First Alert traffic update, and I'm WIS meteorologist Tony Chiavaroli.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
Discover Herndon Certified, Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The early game
With Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Shen Jensen.
on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
$7:21 on a Monday morning. We were talking about it. I'm going to say don't forget or a reminder. This coming weekend, we spring forward. Ooh. Preston's already asked me, he's like, is next week the hardest week of the year for when you get up this early? I was like, no, there's some more difficult ones. But yeah, spring forward on Saturday night. But it was because I was looking, the sun was obviously up earlier here this morning. Coming in, we'll start that countdown. You'll really enjoy that one where we open the show and it's complete daylight.
That part is, I will say, is kind of weird because we're so used to doing the starting the show in the dark. But I really wish they would get rid of this because I love me some fall back. It's the spring forward. Ugh. It's just harder to get used to.
It does. That's a very odd. Jamie, have you ever done early morning radio? I know you've done a whole bunch of stuff. Have you ever had the?
Oh yeah.
What was the earliest time slot you ever had?
6 to 9.
Okay, so you've done this. So yeah, did you ever have that realization like you becoming there's going to be a day where I'm going to drive up Gervais Street? First time it ever happened, it blew like 6 years ago, blew me away.
Yeah, he was very excited when he came in the studio. There's daylight, sunshine.
Did I oversleep? We're doing an afternoon show. No, it's good. Did you ever have a moment like that? You're down in Charleston. You might have gotten a beautiful sunrise one morning.
I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
Never had that? You never paid attention to that? Is it just me?
I mean, I was just Bill. I just, when I know I need to be somewhere at a certain time, regardless of the time change, I'm there, man. I'm dependable.
True.
Yes. You tell me to be there, I'll be there.
Preston has yet to oversleep or wait. So far so good.
I'm gonna be honest, Bill. I don't. It's you need to call people if I'm late.
Okay,
something might have happened.
Okay,
I'll say this. I'll tell you this because the time has lapsed on this. But one of my roommates at Carolina was Reese Havens, and I remember the spring of I think it was 2007. Reese and I were just sitting there eating breakfast one morning. It was a Sunday morning, and the phone rings, and it's Smoke. He's calling my phone, and I said hello. He said, "Where are you? Where's Reese?" I said, "We're sitting right here eating breakfast. What do you want?" He said, "Well, he was supposed to be at the field an hour ago, and Tanner's pissed.
Okay.
And we looked at the clock and we're like, what? Oh my God, it's spring forward. And he didn't start that game. He came in the fourth, but he didn't start the game.
Well, yeah.
Fair play on everybody involved.
That's totally understandable. Totally understandable. 803-404-6100. If you've got a spring forward story that you want to share of you missing an event or wandering around all day long playing an hour behind, if you want to weigh in this morning. Let me give you some numbers, Jamie and Preston. Preston and I were actually just doing this in studio. 4 years, this class for Dawn Staley, the Freshies, 4 years. They are now 125-8 overall. 125-8. They've got 2 Final Four appearances. They've got the 2022 National Championship, and they've won 3 out of 4 SEC tournament championships. And mind you, they probably would tack on, 6 more victory, maybe 5 or 6 more. This very well could be 130. Their freshman year got canceled. The end gets canceled because of COVID. We're probably talking 3 Final Fours, going for their 4th. We're probably talking 2 national championships. I mean, Jamie, you've seen some great baseball classes come through. You just mentioned Havens and Smoke. Preston, you've been around the football team for a long time and seen great freshman classes come through. I don't know if they'll ever get the credit they deserve. That's why I'm kind of trying to tell people, hey, they get into this NCAA tournament, you better appreciate these girls for all they have, because, man, what they've done in 4 years is beyond phenomenal.
Yeah, this is one of those things that there's going to be a day, like, Dawn Staley unfortunately can't coach forever. You know, I mean, hopefully she's here another 20 years. But I mean, she can't coach. But my point is, we're gonna all look back one day and go, "Oh my gosh, we didn't know how good we had it." You know, because you get into this groove when you're a winner. Like, I don't know how many programs in NCAA history are winners like this, but there have certainly. I mean, Alabama football and Southern Cal baseball back in the 70s, all the championships they won. You know, you could pull up some examples. UConn women's basketball. What do you think they're thinking right now? Like, man, I mean, we thought it would never end. Well, Dawn Staley and her Gamecocks ended it. And now it's their turn. And so, like, this is just one of those things. We'll look back one day and we will just, it'll almost feel like we weren't paying attention, right? You know, you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe how fast it went. We didn't know how lucky we had it. I was watching some of the post-game videos yesterday, and there's a reason for that. Yeah, they're really good players, but they are very selfless basketball players. And Coach Staley preaches that from day one, and you can certainly see it's got a strong hold on this program, and that's why they win like they do.
Preston, the freshman class you came in with had a unique opportunity because as you came in off of 0-11, you showed up, so you understood the bond to turn around. You've talked a little bit about how some things went sideways there in 03 and then definitely in 04. But I mean, as a freshman class, like, can you explain the bond that you get with the people that you're coming in with as opposed to just the entire team?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have all your teammates, but your freshmen are the people that you, as I said, you know, when you're 17 or 18 on the college campus and all the big kids are going out to hang out with all of their, you know, all their friends, and y'all are kind of just in the room, or you don't have a car, so y'all have to walk to all your classes together, or you don't know what's going on, so you and your buddy walk around and talk to people. There's a certain bond that you have with freshmen, and each class has a different role. You know, so way back then, my class's role was to they had a bunch of character guys that was sort of shoring up the ship. They had some talent. They were bringing in a bunch of dudes to add on to what is that. Those later 03 and 04 teams, if you look back in the records, they were highly talented, but we had some volatility at the top also. And those classes never really gelled. What makes this class so special is because they were not only coming in on top of already having a winning program, they were charged with taking this program to another level besides being national champions. And they've done the impossible. They've reached heights that obviously they knew they were going to be good, but I don't think anybody would have ever thought they would have been this good.
I don't.
Well, and Preston, like, what does it say about the group that like when they came in, the juniors and seniors, and like, because when you're a freshman in college athletics, you watch the leadership, you watch the older ladies or the older boys on whatever team you're on, and you're not only learning how to play the game, but you're learning how to act in those things. And if you have a few bad apples and that trickles down, then that's a problem. But this group, in addition to the fact that they are really good people and they are so close, the leadership that was already in this program, while not as successful on the floor, nobody's ever been like that, and that's not a shot at anybody, but there was quality leadership in place when they got here as well. Like, what did they learn from them?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think about Ty Henderson, who was there, and to have a point guard be the best player on the team, but bring the freshman along with her. And there's a lot of times where you have a more talented group that's coming ahead of those upperclassmen. People start jockeying for positions, and all kinds of interpersonal team dynamics start playing out. And that's never happened. One, that's from strong leadership at the top. And then also, as Jamie just said, having those players inside the organization understand what they were trying to do.
803-404-6100. If you want to weigh in on the Firehouse Subs text line, you can do that. Our buddy Rooster P, driving around in parts unknown, but apparently was in Greenville yesterday, said the atmosphere at the ladies' basketball game was off the charts. Tennessee tried to be heard. We weren't having any of it. And Jen, I think we've discussed this, but I don't know if this is in our state legislation. I'm not sure what it says, but Matt weighs and says there's a bill in Congress right now to end daylight savings time. Therefore, if it passes, we will not fall back anymore. This could be the last spring forward, and that's where it stays.
I have heard that there is legislation to try to remove it, because what point is it serving?
Just annoyance.
Just leave it. Yeah,
Annoyance.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah, some states don't even do it. So.
Yeah, there's like three of them, I think. And I think there's like a county, maybe in Indiana or somewhere. There's like a random place in Indiana that doesn't. I want to say
in the upper part of the state where people commute into Chicago, so like the northwest corner, they stay on Central Time, but then it's Eastern in part of Indiana, and then it's
that would
Central
be
back
at
in
all.
the southern part. It's
rough.
It's confusing. When I went to school at Butler in Indianapolis, there was a time where they didn't change. So back home, I'd call home from college, and they would be either on my time zone, or then half the year they wouldn't be. It was just like, it was too much. Way too much.
As Jen just said, it was like blah. Whatever that was. Blah.
Very well articulated, I know.
Yeah, it was too. That's why she moved south. 803-404-6100. We'll come back. We'll get into a little bit of men's basketball, and also again, you got something?
Yeah, I got a question for Jamie when we come back.
Oh,
talking
good.
About the baseball.
All right, we'll do a
Love
little more.
that tease.
That great tease. Great tease.
That's a good tease. I'm trying to teach JC how to tease things before he just starts talking before break. I'm like, no, wait, hold it. It keeps the listener.
Got him.
What are you doing? That's what they tell us in this broadcasting class. 803-404-6100. You listen to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Here's what's coming up on The Game.
The Gamecocks start their quest to win the 2023 SEC Tournament. Friday, 11:30 a.m. pregame, noon tip-off.
Your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
The madness of March is officially here. And are you ready for a few viewing parties at your own home? Or if you're ready to clean up after the viewing party, either having people over and having the clean home, or doing the cleanup afterwards. Zero Res carpet and air duct cleaning is ready to get you taken care of. Zero Res, with their patented ZR water technology, does not use harsh chemicals. It'll leave your carpet safe for your family and your pets and yourself to roll around on after that big shot is hit to advance your team to the next round. So call Zero Res today, 803-262-4020. Mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $119. Again, you give them a phone call, 803-262-4020, or you can book online, ZeroResColumbia.com. Again, whether you're hosting a watch party or you just need a refresher around the house to get that carpet, the rugs, the tile, the upholstery all looking clean, the cleaning pros at Zero Res have you covered. 803-262-4020. Mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game. And again, you get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $119. Again, book online, ZeroResColumbia.com, or give them a phone call, 803-262-4020. 0 spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
United Way of the Midlands is hosting its inaugural Books and Brackets College Basketball Challenge. For as little as a $10 donation, you'll play for good and feel good, knowing proceeds support childhood literacy through the Midlands Reading Consortium and the Asia Wilson Foundation. Grand prizes include a Rolex watch or a 2023 Buick Envision, and other prizes ranging from a Dell laptop to a number of gift cards. Submit your bracket today at uway.org/BNB. It's the United Way Books and Brackets Basketball Challenge.
When you think about spring, good stuff springs to mind. You know, like spring break. Woohoo! A friend springing for drinks.
Thanks, dude.
A spring in your step. Spring fever.
Oh, behave.
And best of all, spring water dough pizza from the Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
Yeah, baby!
Experience the taste of spring with our amazing hand-tossed pies, spring fresh salads, and over 100 beers from around the world. Enjoy spring at the Mellow Mushroom in the Vista and on Sunset in Lexington.
Hey, y'all, Jay Phillips here from my good friends at Dan's Fan City in Harbison. Ceiling fans don't sound like something you think about a lot because you don't really need to, but when you've got good ones, they work so well, keeping energy costs down and your comfort level up. All kinds of fans at Dan's Fan City, big to small and quiet, quality fans. They have accessories and light kits, fan blades, and more. Stop by and see them soon, Harbison Boulevard next to Total Wine, or call Dan's Fan City, 781-FANS. You'll be glad you did.
At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we know how serious injuries change people's lives. I'm Jason Reynolds. When you're involved in a major car or truck accident, my team is on your side. You don't have to be alone. Let's do this together.
And I'm Stephen Samuels. When you're hurt at work, my team is with you from start to finish. We're people with a passion for helping injured workers. Bring your case to us and stop the worrying. We've got this.
Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring sergeants and lieutenants statewide. If you have correctional, security, military, or police experience, you can join SCDC as a sergeant or lieutenant. There's $7,500 sign-on bonuses, increased pay, and great employee benefits available. Start your new year off with a new career. Visit joinscdc.com to apply today, or call 803-734-JOBS for more information.
I just learned Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right. Everything you've earned, doubled. All the cash back from eating at your favorite restaurant, doubled. All the cash back from that trip where you sort of learned to snowboard, that's also doubled. And the best part, you don't have to do anything ridiculous to get it. No, Discover does it automatically. Seriously, though, see the terms and check it out for yourself. Discover.com/match. You know our partners, TireRack.com, fast free shipping, free road hazard protection, tire decision guide. They test the tires. They've got their own test track where they push tires to the limit. Yeah, those guys. You want a quiet tire with great traction, comfortable ride. Use their results to make an informed choice. They sell only the best, like the full lineup of Michelin tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan. See for yourself. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
911, what's your emergency?
My husband is hurt.
Can you tell me what happened?
He was digging a hole. There was a loud noise and he fell to the ground.
Don't be a statistic. Always call or click South Carolina 811 before you dig. Sponsored by South Carolina 811, aired by SCBA and this station.
107.5 The Game traffic. Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and a happy Monday to you. Starting out the new work and school week, we're going to take a check on First Alert traffic, and as we see it early on today, not getting any main slowdowns or accidents to report on, at least that could be causing a big slowdown for you. Make sure, again, you keep on listening, checking back for more updates, of course, to travel information you need to know that could be pertinent to your day. This has been a WIS First Alert traffic update, and I'm WIS meteorologist Tony Chiavaroli.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
I was telling Preston, Jamie, off air, I was that dad this weekend at my son's soccer match, where normally I'm pretty laid back, pretty calm. Normally, not all the time. Some parents, some people who've been around me would say, "Oh, boy, is he lying right now?" but there was a little situation. My son got elbowed like in the ear, the throat somewhere, and I might have started yelling at the referee. That dad yelling at the referee. Next to me was one of his teammates, and it's his birthday today, Charlie Hicks. Charlie should actually be like 31 today, not 11, because he was the one calming me down. He's like, "Mr. Gunner, it's okay, it's cool. Like, Austin will get him back." And sure enough, Austin went down and clobbered the kid. And I was like, "All right, don't do that anymore, Austin." So then I had to calm down. But happy birthday to Charlie Hicks today, who turns 11. Had a big game for our soccer academy. Scored a couple goals this weekend. Dominated up front. So I have to give him a shout out, one, because he was keeping me under control. Not only was he scoring goals, but I had a young man who's turning 11 today, like, keeping me under control. So if you see Charlie Hicks at Pleasant Hill Elementary, or was it Pleasant Hill? I think he's at the middle school, Pleasant Hill. If you see him at Pleasant Hill today, like, give him a high five, wish him happy birthday, and say, "Hey, thanks for keeping the short little radio." Charlie's about my height already anyway, so he could have, like, just kept me in control. Has that happened? Jamie, you haven't had to go through that this weekend. You didn't have to yell at anybody at the toddler's birthday, did you?
Oh no, nah, no. They knew who was in charge. They don't cross me like that. They're better than that. I've been thrown out of a few games as a baseball coach, though, and I regret one. The others I don't regret, because I just couldn't take it anymore. Sometimes there's bad. I had an umpire tell me one time. He says, "You say another word, I'm gonna throw you out. You're out of here." And I said, "Well, that'd be the best call you made all day." And he threw me out as soon as I finished that sentence. So, I mean, sometimes you got to stand up for your guys. Sometimes it's okay to be bad, but man, some of these dudes are just brutal.
Yeah, Charlie Hicks, again, wish him a happy birthday. If you see him, I'm wishing him a happy birthday. Because, again, like I said something, all the parents were like, "Ooh, stepping away. I'm not going to be that. I don't want to be associated with that guy." Charlie stood right next to us. Like, "Yeah, Mr. Gunner, that's all right. Yeah, we're right there together. They'll get him. And so, yeah, you haven't had to go through that. Yeah, you've coached, though. Did you?
Yeah, I got tossed one time. I did.
In baseball?
In baseball? No, not in baseball. In football.
How you get tossed in football?
Well, I mean, it was a JV game, and it was, as Jamie said, I was just trying to protect my guys, man.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to ever make it about you as an umpire or a coach, but as a coach, sometimes you got a job to, if you know you're right, not if you think you're right, if you know you're right, and you got to stand up for your guys. By the way, real quick here, I had no idea. I had no clue, so I apologize. But on Friday night, I was in Aiken watching my cousin Hadley. She's a freshman at Bishop England playing state championship, and I kept looking over. This was. Thank God the first pitch got pushed back on Friday night at Clemson, because I was really anxious about this whole ordeal. But I kept looking over. I guess I'm maybe the one or two people in the state that had no idea that Brandon Wallace was the head basketball coach at Gray Collegiate.
Yes,
because I kept looking at this guy and I was like, dude, I know that guy. Who is that?
Yes.
I was like, I swear that's Brandon Wallace. And then after the game, head coach Brandon Wallace.
Yeah,
So,
shout out to Brandon. I think this might have been his first year taking over the team full time. I know he's been an assistant over there, but I think it's his first year taking over them full time. So shout out to Big Brandon.
And we'll come back to that. I want to come back to that in just a second, because that's part of what Lamont Paris needs. And we haven't talked, but go ahead. You had a baseball question you wanted to get to it, Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie, and you mentioned it earlier, and this is old guy signaling in. So Bill already had his old moment, so here goes mine. It's like a cognitive dissonance watching all of the emotion in baseball now. What am I to do with this? Because I
know
it's I think I like it. I just don't know what to do with all of it.
Man, I'm with you, man. I don't know. And if you say something about it, people call you the no fun police, or they make fun of you about it. They're like, "Oh, they're just having fun." I'm like, yeah, I hear you, but like, you do that in the big leagues, they're gonna throw one at your head the next time you come up to the plate. So, I mean, I even like Smoke even texted me one game. He's like, "Dude, this guy deserves to get punched in the face." And I was like, "Yeah, I can't say I blame you, because you're right." I mean, here's a guy who at 3 home runs at Carolina, and every time he hit one, he just put his head down and trotted around the bases. You know, I mean, there is no. So I don't know. I don't know. I hope that there's a balancing to this at some point in time. I understand emotion. Like, you hit a big knock to give your team the lead. You know, that ball that Hornung hit, by the way, on Saturday, like, if I was him with the struggles he's been going through, yeah, I would have been fairly emotional. And being emotional towards your team is one thing. Showing up the other team, I just think there's a fine line there, and I don't like to see it when guys cross it. So I don't know. What's it going to take? Probably going to take somebody getting plunked. Or is it going to take an umpire who finally says, look, guys, I'm not going to have all this. So you want to be emotional, it's fine. You start showing dudes up, I'm going to throw somebody out of the game here.
Yeah, because it's it's sort of it's not just batters, it's pitchers also, you know, when they get a big strikeout, or, you know, it's a little bit of back and forth. So I'm not saying it's uneven, and I'm not even saying that I'm not even being the, like you said, I'm not even trying to be the, you know, back in my day type of dude. It's just really noticeable when you watch games nowadays.
No, it did. It tugs at your heartstrings a little bit. You're like, oh man, just come on, man, just walk off the mound. That's why I love James Hicks. I mean, dude had a bunch of big punch outs yesterday, and he carries himself very well. Scouts love that. You know, he's gonna go. He's gonna hear his name called, as a lot of these dudes are. And I mentioned Hornung. Got to make sure we highlight him. I mentioned I was talking to Coach Lake on Friday. I said, man, I got a feeling Hornung's going to have a somewhere this weekend. You'll feel him. You know, he's going to have a big breakout moment because he's got to get going. He's got to get going. He's one of your best players, if not your best hitter. And sure enough, on Saturday, he knocked the ball out of the yard, and I texted Lake. I just said Hornung with an exclamation point. You know, and there he was. I mean, big players. What did Coach Spurrier used to say? Big players, big plays, big games, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. That's the baseball version this weekend at South Carolina.
Real quick, go back and watch both of you. I'll see if I can get the actual audio for it if we want to go down that path. On, I believe it was February 20th, I believe, or February 21st. It was Washington and Santa Clara playing each other, and it was the first baseman, Will Simpson, hit a 2-run homer to tie the game against Santa Clara. He celebrated with a little bit of a bat flip, but as the article says and as the video would show, nothing flamboyant. Bang, he's gone. Got ejected. And then you can actually go to John Boy Media and check it out. The tweet it just says Washington's Will Simpson got ejected for this excessive celebration. It's got quotations around excessive celebration after hitting a game-tying home run in the 6th inning. Pretty ridiculous. You can actually go and catch it right there. It says Washington manager Jason Kelly also ejected by the umpire. NCAA umpires have been told to crack down on excessive celebrations, particularly during home runs this
and the
coming
bat
season.
flip was nothing. I didn't hardly even go over his waist.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're watching it now? You saw
I
it?
am.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's a fine line. I mean, well, like Caden Grice got thrown out of the game late in Saturday's game for, you know, not only did he argue, but he did the ultimate no-no with umpires. You draw the line in the dirt. So you show the umpire up there, you know, quietly, basically, and you're gone. But you flip a bat to the dugout half the time, and they don't do anything about it. But then out in Washington or wherever that was, you know, you get a minor bat flip. So it's at the discretion of the umpire. You're drawing a dangerous line there. If you're leaving all this up to umpires, you're going to have problems. Like, they've got to be able to define yes and no on certain things here, and that's it. So I don't know what they're going to do about it, but I got a feeling they're going to end up having to address this nationally at some point in time. With all that said, I know somebody out there is about to drive off the Blossom Street Bridge because they're like, man, these guys are a bunch of old jerks. You know, they don't like
It's
these
340-year-olds.
You know, yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
And that person that's about to call in is Tommy Moody, who's going to call us old and say, that's who's going to get fired up. And there's an emotion there. We'll continue talking about this with Jamie and get into just a quick thought on Lamont Paris. They wrap up the regular season with a victory. Good for them. They'll play at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night against Mississippi. We'll come back and finish up hour 2 with Jamie Bradford. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
1075 The Game On Demand podcast menu.
Sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're dealing with injuries or pain, our team is here to get you better sooner.
On the home of the Gamecocks, 1075 The Game.
Sponsored by Audible. Find everything you love listening to on Audible. Hear celebrity memoirs, mysteries, true crime, sci-fi, and more. Audible is the home of storytelling, audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
Life matters. Have trouble getting...
Sometimes when you talk, it is kind of like dead air anyway. So
It's because sleep is so good. Miguel de Cervantes said, "Blessings be upon God who invented sleep. It covers a man, thoughts and all, like a cloak. It is meat for the hungry, drink for the thirsty, heat for the cold, and cold for the hot. Sleep is the currency with which everything may be purchased, and sleep is the balance that sets even king and shepherd, simpleton and sage." It may surprise you to know that the Bible teaches that it's useless for us to stay up too late or get up too early to try to squeeze in a little more work. The psalmist said that God loves us and he loves to give us sleep. Good sleep helps us re-energize and focus on God's destiny for us. Turn in early tonight and let God give you rest. This is Stephen Chitty, pastor of Christian Life. Remember, life matters, and so do you. Go to clcolumbia.com for in-person and live streaming service times.
One search engine is used by 9 out of 10 consumers. Hint, the name begins with a G. And there are hundreds of things that go into being ranked highly by that engine. Your website, your business profile, even your social accounts. A couple of slip-ups and you find yourself on page 7. But at Cumulus Boost, we have the experts and resources to fix what's wrong and boost your findability so you can rank higher than your competition. Get started today at cumulusboost.com. CUMULUS boost.com.
Hi, everybody. This is Woody Wyndham here to talk about Pioneer Tree Service. Guy Gant's not with us anymore, but his girls are. Madison Gant just walked in. How you doing?
Doing great, Woody. How are you?
Good. Madison, I see your trucks everywhere for Pioneer Tree Service. Tell us some of the people you work with.
We've been very busy with residential and commercial customers.
So, Madison, you're doing the State House, Midlands Tech, City of Columbia, University of South Carolina. So you're going to want to call somebody you can trust, and that is the Gant girls at Pioneer Tree Service. And now there's a new little Gant girl, Dawson. We got all the Gant girls in the room.
We do tree removal, stump removal, tree pruning, tree trimming, tree thinning, tree cabling, and we will raise your tree canopy.
And no matter where you live, the Gant girls can get there. So, hey, Gant girls, how do they get in touch with you?
Call us today for a free estimate at 803-794-8253. Or check us out online at pioneertreesc.com.
What a better way to cheer on the Gamecocks than with your own Traeger grill. Grill out with the family and friends.
I don't think Ja had a questionable lifestyle. Not from what I know. Like he said, Bill Preston, a little NBA question before the NBA, did Ja have a questionable lifestyle? You hardly ever hear of NBA guys in trouble. I don't think he had them.
That's the thing. South Carolina's only this big. You would know. There's no stories that
He played for an AAU team in Lexington too. Him and Zion were on the same. I think it was the Hornets early before they got. Yeah, I think he actually played with them. He played with them later, but I would have heard more about it because of the Lexington connections to the other thing you see here sometimes. Like, I don't know what's going on. My man's in the middle of the road. Hey.
Submit your bracket today at uway.org/BNB. It's the United Way Books and Brackets Basketball Chat.
Yeah, but yeah.
7:54 on a Monday morning. Jamie Bradford will hang around for one more segment after this. Then we'll have Preston's Thorns, Buds, and Roses. I'll go into a gripe that I'll probably throw as a thorn for a movie that I watched last night with my kids that I would advise. I didn't know it was a musical.
Uh-oh.
I went into this movie thinking we were going to have like a quality family movie night. Like I thought that, and it, has that happened to any of y'all where
what was the movie?
Lyle Crocodile is,
dude. I knew you were going to say that. We love that movie.
No,
it's a great movie.
Awful.
What?
I started pulling for everybody to get eaten in this family oriented, like just was angry. Granted, one of the characters is a really funny guy off of Stranger Things. I forget what, like, that guy was like the villain of the movie and one of the villains. And like the alligator, the crocodile could sing, but didn't know how to talk. No sense made there.
Dude, I like that movie. I'm going to disagree with you on that one. Javier Bardem was really good in that movie. He could play anything. I mean, he was in No Country for Old Men, and then he was in Lyle Crocodile. Think about that for a second.
Range.
Shawn Mendes was Lyle.
Yeah,
Who knew?
Lyle.
Okay.
Now the little kid, his voice is brutal. Hey, here, let me make it worse for you. My kids, sometimes, generally, they want to listen to Eric Church and Gamecock songs, thankfully, in the truck in the morning on the way to school.
Yeah.
But sometimes they'll say, Dad, can you play the Lyle Crocodile? And I'll have to play some of the songs from that soundtrack, specifically the one where the little kid can't sing at the end. That's brutal.
Yeah, the little kid couldn't sing at the end. The cat, like, I was pulling for the cat to get eaten. The cat did get eaten, and I'm like now over there like, all right, don't spit it back up. Don't spit it back up. And he spits the cat back. Granted, like,
you're a terrible parent. Hey, kids, the cat's going to get eaten here.
Well, thankfully. Well, and then my poor son, Austin, he got taken to the woodshed by my daughter because the last two movies he's picked was Lyle Crocodile and RV with Robin Williams.
Now,
and
that was entertaining.
She just laid into him after the end of the movie and basically said that he has been stripped of all of his movie picking rights moving forward.
Oh, poor kid.
No kidding. Poor
he took it in stride. He backed me up. We did want to watch Despicable Me 2 was what we were going for to remember who the villain was. I think it was Macho Camacho or something like that.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
That is a quality movie.
Just watched it. I will be the arbiter of this Lyle Crocodile because I haven't seen it yet. So we'll be reporting back.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, I was trying to get my kids to watch American Pie with me, but they didn't.
Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness.
We'll discuss that.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hour 3 up next, the early game.
Your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. A Cumulus media station.
With Spectrum Mobile and the epic new Samsung Galaxy S23 series, you get the fastest Samsung phone delivering even faster speeds with Spectrum Speed Boost. Trade in with Spectrum and get $600 off the new Samsung Galaxy S23 series, plus the value of your trade-in. Visit a Spectrum store or spectrum.com/Samsung for details. Service not available in all areas. Internet required. Advanced Wi-Fi and compatible equipment required. Restrictions apply.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Go to nomoredraftyWindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass? Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text DIME to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text DIME to 200-300 right now. Text the word DIME to 200-300. Don't wait. Text DIME.
Wilson Kibler is a full-service commercial real estate firm with offices in Columbia and Greenville, specializing in helping businesses, owners, and investors with all of their commercial real estate needs. Wilson Kibler has a team of skilled brokers that can help advise you on leasing, buying, and selling commercial real estate. They also provide commercial and residential property management services. Call 803-779-8600 to learn more. Wilson Kibler, South Carolina's trusted commercial real estate advisor since 1987.
This is Larry Lightner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing. And for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate
All right,
Roofing.
class, it's the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship. Welcome to Fandom 101. You think you got the heart to get your squad through the Sweet 16 and Elite 8? Here's your assignment. Lesson 1, go big for every bucket. 2, work in groups. And 3, attendance is encouraged, but passion is mandatory. The regional round, March 24th to 27th at Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/WBB tickets. Class dismissed.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by the power of Love Chevrolet, Tahoe, Silverado, Suburban, Colorado. If your dreams for the new year include cruising around town in your brand new Chevy, look no further than South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer. Love Chevy, I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads. The early game
With Bill Gunter, Jen Jensen, former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
Really quickly, I want to make a plug for Lamont Paris's Carolina Calls show.
Okay.
If you're into basketball and you want to learn about basketball and you want to learn about Coach Paris and how he thinks through the game, I would really advise you to listen to that show because he does a tremendous job of teaching and talking the game.
on your home of the Gamecocks.
Does that translate to wins? I don't know. But I think he does. He's really interested in listening to him talk basketball.
107.5 The Game.
Eight zero 404-6100, hour number 3. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we will give you a chance to win some baseball tickets to tomorrow night's contest over at Founders Park. South Carolina takes on the Citadel. So we will do that. Also want to remind you about the 107.5 The Game Spring Golf Classic. If you're not signed up already, what are you waiting for? Call Charwood today. Tournament is Friday, March 24th at Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia. Call Charwood today, 803-755-2000 to register. $100 a person. So if you're a single and you want to come out and play, and we'll put you on a team, you want to meet some of the listeners here that interact with us on the station, or if you've got a team and it's $400 per team, we'll accommodate you either way. We'll have autographed gear from Gamecock athletes. One person will win season tickets to all remaining USC baseball games. Lunch provided by Firehouse Subs. So we got a lot going on. Friday, March 24th, Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia. Preston and I will be out there doing the show live that morning. You can get out there early and have a little breakfast with us and hang out. We'll put you on air and cut up. You can sign up, though, to play today. $100 per person, $400 per team. 803-755-2000 is how you can register. That is Friday, March the 24th, the 107.5 The Game Spring Golf Classic. Tell you what, Jamie, in a few weeks, when there's less sports to talk about, we'll go down a path. Both you and Preston have younger children. Mine are 13 and 10. And during the break, we went down a path of talking. Like my 13-year-old daughter was watching the Jordan Peele movie, Us. I'm questioning my parenting on that. We're in the car going to soccer. My 10-year-old son is rapping every word he knows to M&M's Without Me. And I'm going, well, I've either done really well or, boy, am I an awful parent. What's one of the two? There's no gray area on what my kids know. So Lyle Crocodile was meant to bring him back last night. I'm not exactly sure that's what was accomplished.
As I said, I'll be the deciding factor on that. Because we're gonna watch it. We're gonna see how the baby feels about it. She's really big into Clifford right now, which still's winning out here in the streets. So the new Clifford movie was better than I expected. So We'll see how Loud Crocodile goes.
Yeah, she'll like it. The 13 and 10-year-old might have pushed them closer to Eminem and Jordan Peele movies than back toward Hotel Transylvania and Shrek or Despicable Me. 803-404-6100. Alan just weighs in with Nacho Libre. Is that suitable for a 13 and a 10-year-old? Yeah. We're in that age. We're in that age where I don't know. I'm not sure. So,
I mean, yeah.
Parenting.
Happy Gilmore's okay, right?
Tend to hold off on that because I was going to let him watch Big Daddy. I thought about Big Daddy, and I was like,
Yeah.
I
I think Happy Gilmore, you definitely have to have the edited version.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, we're still
like the TV version.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot of
that's not
stuff
bad.
on the TV version. They wouldn't understand a word of it, but I could probably let them watch Casino. Wouldn't make any
Well-
sense with all the bleeped out parts of that. So who knows? So let me ask something.
Yeah, or like the TV version of Boogie Nights or something. Fine, I'm sure.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Well, this conversation will continue when there's later on for all the.
Why is she in rollerblades? Son, just watch the movie.
Yeah. Again, the parenting. This is where I come for parenting advice. The Sports Talk Radio show. So, something you guys brought up, and I'll kind of circle back to how I want to get there. But Lamont Parish wins the final regular season game. South Carolina basketball wins the final regular season game. Jamie, they win 3 games to kind of close out the season. We're not trying to make it something that it's not. They beat the 3 teams that are right around them. They beat LSU on the road. They beat Mississippi, who they'll play again Wednesday night, who is 13th in the league, and they beat Georgia there on Saturday. But there is a level of saying, okay, compared to some things I saw this year, that's progress, right?
Yeah, so I'll to quote my friend, our friend, everybody's friend, Mike Morgan. Mike said, "Look around." And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Look around the league. Look at all the new head coaches." I mean, Mike White's been in the league, so you give him a little leeway, but nobody is just blowing the doors off the thing with new head coaches, man. It was like everybody needs to just calm down. He wasn't talking about South Carolina just specifically, although as we all know, Mike keeps a close eye on what the Gamecocks are doing. But he's right. You look around the league, everybody's kind of struggled. There's also some things to point out too. Okay, like they lost 3 games in overtime in SEC play. What if that was a little bit different? They'd still have a losing record. Well, what if that was a little bit different? How would we all feel? We'd feel a little bit better with 7 or 8 wins because, quite honestly, they'd only be 2 or 3 wins less than what they were doing under Coach Martin each year in SEC play. And then I think if you could go back in time, this is an interesting question. You can't change it, but it was already set. But if you knew you were going to have a first-year head coach, taking your team to a tournament like the one that's played in Charleston after only 2 games is not what you want to do. You want to have some cupcakes in there to get it figured out. And people might look at that and go, well, wait a second. They played Colorado State and Davidson, and they should be beating those teams. Yeah, that's not necessarily how basketball works. Those are really good basketball teams that they played down there or down here. And so, if you look back at the challenges, did that tournament set them back a little bit after that big win against Clemson? I don't know, but guys, I would imagine being a new head coach and bringing your team just 2 games into a tournament like this, having to play 3 games in 4 days, that probably presented some challenges that none of us even thought about as a first year head coach would have, like Coach Paris.
Yeah, I'm
not
not
making
gonna at
excuses.
the beginning of the year, regardless. I think it was a big transition. I will say, if you go and you look at the teams you just mentioned, Colorado State was not particularly great this year. This was a step back year for them. I don't think Davidson also was not particularly very good this year either. Furman is rolling under Bob Ritchie, so good for them. But I guess the point is, and this is where I was going to circle back. You mentioned being in Aiken on Saturday night. What I'm actually starting to see is former South Carolina players. And Preston, from your area going through recruiting, I don't know. Sometimes do we make too much of former players? Because now Brandon Wallace is coaching the high school ranks. Carlos Powell is coaching the high school ranks. I think Melvin Watson is still up in the upstate coaching. I know Larry Davis was and then is now at Mars Hill, I believe is where he's at. That came in earlier this year. Aaron Lucas, JoJo English. They're in the schools. They've got connection with the players and everything. How big do you? I'll ask both of you because the next step is getting better players. Like you have to go out. It would transfer portal, whatever. I've mentioned Dylan Jones, who's from Keenan. I think Zach Norris has always been a guy who has love for both of the in-state schools. I don't think he sides with one or the other particularly hard. But you mentioned, like, that's some of it is getting some former alumni back out into the coaching ranks, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, having those people out there in the schools, in the hallways, in the locker rooms, that when those parents, most importantly, have questions, that they can talk to them about what life is like on campus, what life is like for them after campus. Also, if they have a connection to the program, they can answer some questions. It may not be that important for the actual recruit, but for the parents and the other people that are helping that recruit make decisions, it's good to have people that are vested in the program and have some idea about what is going on.
Yeah, familiarity, like we've long had around this state in baseball. So yeah, I totally agree. I mean, they've got to be able to sign players. I mean, he's going to have to handle the portal, but like he also has to continue to build a pipeline in high school basketball. And this state has proven, I mean, time and time again, that it pumps out some pretty good players, right? So I don't know what the formula is going to be to get enough of those guys on campus. I don't know from an NIL standpoint or anything else, but you know, that's where it's going to start.
I think having covered basketball recruiting, having watched the state, every once in a while you're going to have the elite guy come through. And in that you're going to have the G.G. Jackson, you're going to have Cam Scott, you're going to have these guys who come through. The way basketball is now with kids transferring, Colin Murray Boyles just went out to I now forget the name. I know he was back in town recently playing for the prep school. I forget which prep school he's gone to, but he's had a good season. The key is finding, say, guys like a Herbert Lee Davis, finding guys or landing the guys, especially a guy like a Brandon Wallace, who wasn't a massive recruit, but was a good recruit. You've got to land those guys, and then you probably got to go outside of the state and land the one or two elite players. And certainly because it's hard, man. It's this state when if you run into a recruiting battle with Duke or with North Carolina, you know, schools with a little bit more, in particular, those have a lot more. It's hard to convince a kid to come here and play in that arena where it's 50-50 or obviously less percentage, given that the three of us, 43 years, we've seen 5 NCAA tournament appearances. Or actually, we've seen less, I believe. I believe that's right. I think 1, 2, to see 1 for Felton, 2 for Fogler, 1 for Odom, and 1 for Martin. 5. The three of us have seen 5, and we've seen 4 wins. Like, so the point I guess I'm making here is it is a good finish. It gives him some momentum going into the recruiting trail. Now he's got to use it regardless of what happens Wednesday.
Well, going back to what you just said, it's the elite player. That person probably can come from somewhere else. But as you said, can you lock down the middle class player, the lunch pail guy, the hustle guy, the guy who can, the 3-and-D person, you know, those types of folks that you build your roster out with, and then maybe you go pluck somebody from some other place if this state doesn't have that person or if that person leaves the state. But I do think building up the majority of your roster is very possible in South Carolina, and that's going to be a task, I think. And it's interesting because as three of us are talking, obviously I'm more familiar with recruiting. Jamie's more familiar with recruiting in baseball. You're more familiar with basketball. And they're similar, but they all have some differences and nuances of how you recruit each sport. And so it's really interesting to see how that plays out.
Well, in keeping players, like this is not a program that's going to be able to cycle players every year. We know that. Like all those years y'all just mentioned, look at the roster. Look at the rosters. They have a bunch of older guys. There's leadership out there. Like however he builds the program. Again, I don't know what the exact game plan is, but however he builds it, he's going to have to do it with the eye on getting guys in here who can develop and stay in the program for 2 or 3 or 4 years. Like that, you have to have some type of nucleus, or it's never going to happen at Carolina.
Yeah, I go back and I know you got to go here in a second, but I kind of side now, having seen it with what Eddie Fogler said. It's 5-year windows. It's 5-year windows. You're probably going to have you know, 1 to 2, depending on what your roster is. It's a 3-year postseason run. One NIT and one NCAA, and depending on what your roster looks like, that third postseason year is either an NCAA or an NIT. So it could be in a 5-year period, 2 NITs and an NCAA. You build to an NCAA, and then those guys graduate, and then you have to start back over with kind of a younger roster where you take your lumps for a year, you try and be competitive. Remember, everybody should remember this because I think this gets lost, and I think you two understand this, but I'm sure making the NIT is a lot more difficult today than it was under Dave Odom. Dave Odom's 2 NIT championship teams do not get into the NIT in today's NIT bracket the way they do things. Those teams would have never been. Frank Martin would have had 3 or 4 more NIT teams if it was the Dave Odom era because of how you basically bought yourself into the NIT.
That's right. That's true. And yeah, it's totally different. But I mean, like back then too, we all enjoyed watching. Nobody even cares about the NIT anymore, Bill. Like nobody cares. I mean, if this team made the NIT, that would be great because it was a first-year head coach. Like we would care. You'd see progress there. But from a national perspective, like if he made the NIT in year 2, nobody cared about that. I mean, it's done. Like those days, you get one crack at the NIT, and it basically revolves around like a rebuild or something like that. But if you're making the NIT 3, 4, 5 years into your tenure, nobody cares. Nobody cares about that because the field is 68, and that's what it is, and that's just the way that the world turns now. I mean, it's back in those days we celebrated those NITs, although one would be celebrated like that today because of the change. If Frank Martin was still here and he made the NIT this year, won the NIT championship, nobody would even care.
No, yeah, you're 100% right about that. By the way, for those that don't know, this is just a point. I'm not trying to advocate the NIT being this great basketball tournament, something to watch at night. And as you just said, if your team's in it, there was some nostalgia for having that NIT in Madison Square Garden. That's where it had been. I don't know if anybody is aware of this. The NIT is now this year, the championship, the Final Four of the NIT will be in Las Vegas at Orleans Arena, which to me moves it a little bit further down because you're just taking like the one thing it has. Like that's the one thing is, hey, we get to go play
in the Garden.
In the Garden. Oh, that's cool. So
in the Garden.
Yeah, Jamie, we always appreciate it.
So they did that. Huh? They did that to keep money in the NIT, basically, so people will bet on it, keep some interest.
They just want to move it. I mean, it's kind of like you said, the interest is waning in it. I mean, let's be honest. Again, if your team maybe you're sitting around on that whatever it is, that Tuesday and Thursday night where they play, I believe it is the 28th and 30th this year, the semifinals and championship game. Maybe you're sitting around or you're at a sports bar and you just look up and you're like, hey, I'm watching that. Or as you said, maybe you're putting a couple dollars on it. But other than that, if your team's not, who's really watching the NIT? I mean, who's going, oh, NIT championship game tonight. Are we in on this? Yeah, everybody, watch party. So, Jamie, I know you got to get out of here. You got a busy week. You're, I believe, taking a little family trip as well. Maybe celebrate the toddler's birthdays a little bit more.
Well, my wife's birthday is on Wednesday too. It's a very expensive month for me. So we, but our family has a mountain house up in Maggie Valley. We go up to very often. It's our home away from home. So we're gonna go up there and spend a few days leaving Wednesday, come back Sunday, and watch everything from afar. But yep, looking forward to it. Maybe kids can see a little snow before we get solidified in the spring. But congratulations to the ladies again, and congratulations to Coach Paris. Hopefully they get a win against Ole Miss, and let's see how far they can go. And then certainly the softball program, they're off to an incredible start. Well done. And Coach Kingston and his Gamecocks, they just keep rolling right along, 11-1. And this is a Gamecock state, boys and girls, because Carolina owns the upstate folks in every sport right now. So let's keep that rolling for as long as we can.
We will do it. We will do it. Appreciate it. And you have a safe trip, and we'll holler at you next Monday.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. See you.
Yes, sir.
From Jamie Bradford joining us each and every week. When we come back, it'll be Preston Thorns, Buds, and Roses. He'll give his weekend observations. Also, when we come back, we will give away tickets to tomorrow night's baseball game at Founders Park. The Gamecocks and the Citadel taking on one another over at Founders Park. So a lot to do here as we roll along. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
The 107.5 The Game Spring Golf Classic is coming Friday, March 24th at Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia.
Call Charwood at 803-755-2000 to register.
It's $100 a person, $400 a team. We'll have autographed gear from Gamecock athletes, and one person will win season tickets to all remaining USC baseball games.
Lunch provided by Firehouse Subs.
The 107.5 The Game Spring Classic, Friday, March 24th.
Call Charwood at 803-755-2000 to register.
From your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
This is Boomer Science with the CBS Sports Minute. Southeast Missouri State, Fairleigh Dickinson, North Carolina, Asheville, Drake, and Kennesaw State have clinched the first 5 berths in the 68-team NCAA tournament field. Just 3 years after going 1-28, Kennesaw State held off Liberty 67-66 yesterday for the Atlantic Sun Conference Championship. Congratulations, guys. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. But still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is sponsored by FN America Careers.
Are you ready to join a high-caliber team? FN America is always looking for the best talent to design and build the most innovative firearms. We make world-class products to defend our nation in a friendly, rewarding, and engaging workplace. Explore your next career at fnamerica.com/careers.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play. Stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text DIME to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text DIME to 200-300 right now. Text the word DIME to 200-300. Don't wait, text DIME to 200-300.
Get ready to slam dunk those dirty carpets with Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. As the madness of March approaches, it's time to get your home in order. Zerorez uses no harsh chemicals, leaving your carpets safe for your family and pets. Whether you're hosting a watch party or just need a refresh, the cleaning pros at Zerorez have you covered. Right now, mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $119. Book online, ZerorezColumbia.com.
Hi, my husband and I own a small business in Columbia, and we ended up needing some help with some tax problems that we had and needed to get resolved. We initially owed about $300,000, and John Ecton and his law firm ended up getting us an offer in compromise, which dramatically reduced the amount owed. I would personally recommend the Ecton law firm. They did an excellent job for us, and if this is a concern that you're facing, they're definitely the people you should call.
It's great to know we have changed people's lives for the better. Hi, this is local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. For over a decade, our office has been dedicated to helping hardworking individuals and businesses solve tax problems for good. So if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call our office today at 771-9800 or go to EctonLawFirm.com. That's ECTON lawfirm.com. Let's get your tax problem solved for good. Call today. You'll be glad you did.
Getting rid of pests is not a do-it-yourself project, so call the 75-year professionals at Dodson Pest Control first. Visit DodsonBROS.com to find an office near you. Dodson, the pest professionals you trust.
1075 The Game traffic. Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 1075 The Game.
And taking a look at those traffic conditions, still a big slowdown trying to get up to the Columbia area from the Orangeburg area. I-26 westbound, just after exit 136. That is tied up. The left lane is currently blocked and traffic really slowed down. So might even try to find an alternate route if you can. And it's I-26 westbound where the left lane is blocked at exit 136. I-20 westbound at Fairfield Road, there is an accident there, and the shoulder is reported being blocked. I-20 westbound at Monticello Road. 79 for the high today, 82 tomorrow, drops to 67 on Wednesday. Still good reason for us to live here. It's 50 right now at 107.5 Game.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The Early Game with Bill Gunter.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
And Jen Jensen on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
In the shadow of the city, when the days have disappeared, some might say it's sort of gritty, full of faces to be feared. But there are wonders that are waiting underneath the midnight sky. We got the stars illuminating. It's a place for you and I, a little space for you and I. At the top of the world tonight, when no one
I think this is
ever
one of
has
those.
to
I think I'm in a
hide.
musical. This was not in the IMDb. This was. I thought the crocodile was supposed to be funny. How does the crocodile sing but not know how to talk? I don't get it. Like, how does he know the words to a bunch of songs but can't? And he's dancing around. Like, is that what I mean?
That's his way of finding his voice.
Where do we cross the line?
Everybody
into
has to
what
find
becomes-
their voice.
Where do we cross? I don't know without looking this up because I'm not going to look this up. Where do we cross the line from a movie to a musical?
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
And I don't know the answer to that, but it's a feeling. It's something you feel. You said it correctly when it's like, wait a second, hold on. What did I just get into? I don't know if there's a number, but there's a feeling.
Because, you're telling a story, but then part of the story is the music, so there has to be a balance.
I knew going into Spirited, I believe, with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell, I was watching a musical. I didn't know that when it first came out and I wanted to see it. I was like, oh, that looks like a funny movie. And then as I read some reviews on it before anything, I was like, oh, that's a musical. Last night, I went in thinking like this was going to be kind of a CGI, cute, cuddly, like, oh, cool, a talking crocodile who eats the cat halfway through. And now we got to put him in the New York Zoo. No, they started singing pretty quickly. And about the third song in, within the first 20 minutes, I was like, oh, we've made a mistake here.
I just thought I'd let you relive a little of it for a
made
moment.
a mistake here.
I'm on board. Like I said, we'll have this on deck and we will come back with reviews.
Anticipate this coming back up. It's time for our weekly segment where Preston Thorne gives his takes of the weekend. Preston Thorne's Buds and Roses. What do you got for us this week?
Man, Bill, I have several thorns to give out. I'm going to give a thorn bush not only to Ja, but the whole Morant family. All of them. All of them have been thorns on my side this week. It starts with Ja, obviously. As you stated earlier, he posted a video of himself brandishing a weapon. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a weapon. This is America. You can do that, no problem. But do not have it in public, on Instagram, in a place where you feel. Here's the deal, Bill. If you feel like you need to have a weapon in a place, hey, you probably should not be at that place. That's just really simple advice. But Ja, you're acting really stupid right now. You're not stupid, but your actions are proving that way. But it's not just him, it's your father also. He's at every game. He's a helicopter parent. He's at every game in the front row, doing all this work. He's fighting Shannon Sharp. We let that slide. And he's just all up in the videos everywhere. He's trying to be a star. What are you doing? Support your son. Don't be a fan of your son. Your son obviously needs some support because he's going through some things right now. But it's not just his father. His mother, Bill, did you read the Washington Post story?
No.
So his mother gets into a conflict at a finish line at a mall in Memphis, which there's a lot of questions to be asked for that. She gets into a conflict at the sneaker store. Do you think she called the police, Bill? No. Do you think she called maybe Ja Morant's personal security guard? No. Who do you think she called, Bill?
I was personally pulling for Paul Blart Mall Cop.
She did not call for the mall call. She called her son, Ja Morant, to come handle a business of issue with them. And Ja's going through this thing. He brings up several of him and some of his I don't even know if friends is the right word. And they make another stupid mistake. So Ja's embroiled in doing a lot of dumb things right now. He's not dumb, but here's the thing with Ja, Bill. We feel like he's ours. He represents South Carolina. And what the thing is about Ja is he's the number one basketball player with young people right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't care about LeBron, Giannis, Jokic. Every time we talk to kids, it's all about Ja. So they're going to get that right. Obviously, right now, he said he's taking some time off from the team. Hopefully, he's going to get some help. He's going to figure some things out with his life because we don't know what he's going through. But right now, he's making a lot of stupid decisions that are clearly going down the wrong path. So my thorns were for the Morant family. Buds, emotion in baseball. Do I like it? Do you like it, Bill?
Let's remember it was a rivalry series. Okay. But the SEC is a passionate league across the board. And we've seen it in women's basketball. I mean, you've seen it across I've seen it across the board in athletics in the SEC. When they say it means more, it means more.
It does.
You're going to see it in baseball, and I don't know where it's coming from because, like you said, you didn't used to see this, but it's there.
But I just don't know if I like it. I'm not sure. That's why it's budding. Either I'm growing a love for it or I'm growing a hate for it, and I can't figure out what it is. But I mean, bat flips, throat slashes, blowing kisses.
That's right.
Skipping down the line, sideways down the bases, tapping helmets, pitchers cursing at. I mean, it's a lot going on. And again, I don't know what this is just the old in me that's bubbling up that I have to suppress from time to time, but it's just something.
Or is the younger generation, serious question, is the younger generation too confrontational?
Well, Bill, because that's not the case. They're
You don't think so?
non-confrontational. They're talking trash behind the fact that nobody can put hands on them to finish this thing. So they are.
So one good fastball to the middle of the bat could solve a lot of issues.
It's
here.
the opposite of confrontational.
Okay.
It's very much protected. How is in? I'm sure if something happened, they would say, "Oh my God, I can't believe something happened to me." That's why I don't like it. And finally, roses. Want to give some roses out on a serious note. Want to give some roses out to Lavoisier Carroll, Jesse Sanders, Trey Kenyon, who are going into medical retirement.
Okay.
And it's something that we don't talk about often with our college athletes. When the game is over for you because you just can't do it anymore. All three of them have decided to step away from football. Ricky Sandage also earlier in the year did the same thing. And for these guys, it's very difficult at this age to have something that you've been working for your whole life, your whole career, to have it sort of taken away from you because your body fails you, which is not something you expect as a young person. So that's a difficult thing for them, but they'll get over it. I'm happy for them because they've had that chance. They have had a chance to play. And so for Lavoisier Carroll, Jesse Sanders, Trey Kenyon, and Ricky Sandage, just remember, as you always say, your next play is your best play. Plenty of roses for you. Thank you. Thank you for your service and your time with Gamecock Athletics and any other athlete that had to go through medical retirement. Appreciate the time that you played and look forward to the next thing that you're going to do. Bill, those are our thorns, those are our buds, and those are our roses.
I got one more rose for you. I'm going to step on your toes. I don't know if you've heard this yet. Do you know what happened Do you know what happened in the locker room yesterday with Aaliyah Boston after the game?
I don't.
I want you to hear this audio right now. If you want to talk about a culture, and you want to talk about a class person, and you want to talk about a teammate or a player, you just talked about Ja Morant being a role model and some kids now, some questions. This is Aaliyah Boston after the game yesterday in the locker room. Dawn Staley's got the net around her neck. They're celebrating in the locker room. This is Aaliyah Boston taking the stage and talking about one of her teammates, and listen to what she does.
I just want to say that, Tish, I think you played really well this entire tournament. And honestly, we probably wouldn't be here without you. And I do think that you deserve to be an all-star. And so I'm just going to give you mine because it is well deserved.
That's Aaliyah Boston giving away her trophy that she won most, I think it was MOP or MVP. I can't remember which one. And Preston, you've played on teams. When we come back, we'll talk about this because that's you crying.
That's not a, no, I'm just saying that's not a thing. That's not a normal thing.
That's not. We'll talk about that. An incredible thing from Aaliyah Boston yesterday. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Gotta take.
Hit us up on the Firehouse Subs text line.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
803-404-6100.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Going out and purchasing a new car, well, it's about time to do it. Why? Because you got spring break coming up. You want to take a spring break trip. Summer is just around the corner, and it's time for you to hit the road and go visit the mountains, the beach, wherever you may be going. And the best way to do it was with a brand new vehicle to tote the whole family around from Love Chevrolet, the family that's taken care of us for over 60 years right here in the Midlands, making sure we have the best deal possible, the largest selection possible, and the best customer service, because Love Chevrolet understood a long time ago that when you can treat a family correctly, they'll keep coming back because they can trust you. And at Love Chevrolet, I trust them with my purchases, and you'll do the same, whether it's the 14 acres of brand new Chevys to purchase from, whether it's Love Chevrolet's $1,000 guarantee, meaning you can go shop other dealerships and take their folks back to them and they'll top it. Or again, whether it's the incredible sales staff that's knowledgeable, that's friendly, many of them that have worked for Love Chevrolet for over 20 years, ready to help you today purchase that next car, truck, or SUV. There's a reason Love Chevrolet is the #1 dealership right here in the Midlands. Visit them for yourself. I-26 in Harbison between Lowe's and Frankie's Fun Park, or on the web, lovechevy.com. Get out to Love Chevrolet and find new roads.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring sergeants and lieutenants statewide. If you have correctional, security, military, or police experience, you can join SCDC as a sergeant or lieutenant. There's $7,500 sign-on bonuses, increased pay, and great employee benefits available. Start your new year off with a new career. Visit joinscdc.com to apply today, or call 803-734-JOBS for more information.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing. And for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
This baseball season and every baseball.
I'm trying to go back and find the article. What was the award she gave away? Was it does anybody know? Was it MOP or MVP? Because Amahir didn't make the all tournament team. And that was her point. And so I don't what trophy did see, I don't know if you Does anybody know what exact trophy that's a?
Tournament MVP.
Was it tournament
I think
MVP?
so, yeah.
Was it? Yeah, MOP, most outstanding player. Yeah,
Is that the same thing? Or is that
yeah, basically.
Yeah, tournament MVP. Well, the AP says MVP. I can't see anywhere that says MOP.
Yeah, I think it was MOP, but I saw more than just the tweet about it, but
At Progressive, we're making things even easier. We'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-Progressive.
No one likes to talk about the injuries, pain, disability.
yeah, John, it's
I'm Jason Rupp. At Samuel Tunnels Law Firm,
a good video, and it's.
I'm Stevenson. Work injury disrupts your life. You work hard.
I swore I saw an article about it. Besides just.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply. WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Still had that one accident slowing things down for heading towards Columbia from Fort for I-26 westbound after exit 136. The left lane continues to be blocked.
Tournament MVP. (803-404-6100) if you want to weigh in this morning. A couple of you doing that. John weighing in, and just going back to Preston's, Buds on baseball emotions. John says it's gamesmanship. Loves how Ethan Petrie practices his bow in right field when the Gamecocks get an out. So the gamesmanship, I don't know where you stand on the old gamesmanship.
Again, I don't know. That's why I put it out there. It's something new. I'm just figuring it out. Not judging one way or another. I'm just noticing.
And then before we went to break, we were talking about it. I was looking. This is from David Cloninger yesterday. He said it was her all tournament team trophy that she just gave away. So not the MOP or MVP. I'm not sure which one it was, O or V, outstanding or valuable, but that Aaliyah Boston gave the all tournament team trophy because she felt Letitia Amahir should have been on it. And there's going to be those people out there who are going to want to text in or just be angry and say, "Oh, it's for." She's got all these trophies and
She's got enough trophies.
She's got too many. But still, I go back and I'm trying to watch this with more of an appreciation as it's happening. And if you're, I'll say this, I'll take it and relate to that other team in the upstate. There's not many people who thought that you would see another type of Deshaun Watson, right? That generational talent. It's not just that out there that was great for the program, but then you had Trevor Lawrence coming behind it. You knew what Asia Wilson was. And you said off air, Asia Wilson wasn't just a great basketball player. She was, and she is, I don't want to post-mortem her, she is an incredible person. And Aaliyah Boston, I think we all still remember the the pain in her face of missing that putback. I think it was against Stanford, if I'm thinking correctly, 2 years ago. And now what she's done and the way she's done it, and to be that kind of teammate, you can't convince me. There's nothing that anybody can say that she doesn't deserve a statue out there. If we're putting one, Aaliyah Boston is another foundational piece of what South Carolina women's basketball is all about.
Yeah, it just makes it so easy to cheer for them. It's one thing when your team is winning and you got a bunch of players on your team that's like, man, these are good players, but I don't know, And again, as a fan, I'll take it. I'll just kind of maybe turn my head the other way. But
They're the players that if you leave the candy bowl out on Halloween, that you're like, they might take the whole candy bowl and not just
Aaliyah definitely seems like she's going to take a piece of candy.
One singular,
One candy, or maybe she'll take 5 and bring them back to the rest of
right.
her friends. So just folks that you want to cheer for, you want to be invested in these things, and it's just a great moment. We cannot overstate it. Enjoy these people in this time because they won't be here for much. Regardless, they won't be here for much longer.
So again, put us in context of a locker room when something like this happens. Because it does. I mean, like it's. Again, I get it. There's going to be a few people out there who want to go, oh, she did it for show, and she already won another trophy. I was just looking at all the awards she's won this year. There's going to be that kind of stuff, and I get it. But what you have here is something that in a locker room you don't really see.
No, that's what I said. That's not a thing. I mean, we could all be proud that we're together and we're all teammates, but I'm taking all my trophies. So for her to do that is really.
All right, remember that. See, don't ever tell me he's not much different than me because, I'm not sharing trophies if we win them around here.
I'm taking the trophies. We can share it in accolades. That's why I would like to thank the rest of the team for my trophies, but, I'm not giving it away. So, I mean, it just means something. You can hear the sincerity in her voice. You can hear the teammates cheering along. And that's just a genuine appreciation of your teammates. And I think that's what probably carries this team so far and what they've been able to do to this point.
Absolutely incredible. Good for them. They will roll into the NCAA tournament having just an absolute incredible run. 32-0, 16-0 in conference, adding another SEC championship tournament trophy to the resume. When we come back, we will wrap it up here. It's Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, she's Jen Jensen. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Have you missed any of the early game? You can catch up by going to the early game on demand page at 1075thegame.com
or by downloading our 1075 The Game app on iTunes or Google Play.
Sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. If you're dealing with injuries or pain, our team is here to get you better sooner.
There is, from what I've read on the weather reports, there is one more cold snap coming down the pipe. But then after that, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. And if you've got your own pool in your backyard, it's time to have it ready to be used. Are you contacting Corley Pool Solutions today? You better be. 803-445-8109. With 20 years of experience in the pool maintaining industry, Tracy Corley is ready to weekly maintain your pool, and he'll do it for a flat rate cost. That's right. That means testing, treating, and maintaining, keeping up with the proper chemicals that need to be in there, preventing expensive damage to your pool equipment. Bet you didn't even think about something like that. You just thought Tracy and his team are out there just making sure the pool looks clean. Not only does their maintenance keep your pool look clean, but it helps prevent expensive damage to pool equipment. So call them today. 803-445-8109. That's how you can reach the pool expert, Tracy Corley with Corley Pool Solutions today. How about the most important thing about all of this? You work hard, right? You're at work now. You got a long day ahead of you. You want to go home and relax and be able to use your pool. Using Corley Pool Solutions will help save you time and money. That's right. Save time and money by contacting Corley Pool Solutions today. 803-445-8109. That's Corley Pool Solutions.
Sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2023.
Beneath their gorgeous exterior, 1-800-GOT junk trucks were designed to be ready for anything.
How about construction site junk?
All you have to do is point.
Retail, grocery store, warehouse, office junk?
Point, 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 point.
How about the monumental junk left after a fire or a flood or a hurricane?
This time, you'll need to do it with your other hand.
Why?
Because the first hand will be tired from all of that other pointing.
I see your point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
If you have tax problems, it can affect all aspects of your life. Now's the time to do something about it. Hi, I'm local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. Everyone at our firm truly believes we can improve the lives of our clients by eliminating the stress and worry of IRS tax problems. We're a local South Carolina law firm dedicated to resolving your tax problems for good. Simply put, we solve tax problems. So if you're facing IRS tax liens, bank or wage levies, or have years of unfiled tax returns, come meet with us in person. Your first visit is free and confidential. We'll show you how we will solve your problem and how much it'll cost. So don't put it off any longer. Call us now at 803-771-9800. That's 803-771-9800. Or go to our website at irsproblemsolving.com. It is time to do something about that tax problem. Your solution is right here in South Carolina. So hire a South Carolina attorney. Hire me, John Ecton.
Locally owned Atlantic Windows and Doors has been making Columbia area homes more comfortable, attractive, weather-tight, and energy efficient for over 35 years. How? By distributing products from the best window and door manufacturers in the country. These products give you the best looks, the best quality, and the best value, all based on your specific needs. And everything is professionally installed by their dedicated and experienced employees, not subcontractors. Atlantic Windows and Doors. Visit them online at awds.com.
At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we know how serious injuries change people's lives. I'm Jason Reynolds. When you're involved in a major car or truck accident, my team is on your side. You don't have to be alone. Let's do this together.
And I'm Stephen Samuels. When you're hurt at work, my team is with you from start to finish. We're people with a passion for helping injured workers. Bring your case to us and stop the worrying. We've got this.
Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
Don't let allergies keep you down. Call the cleaning pros, Zera's Air Duct Cleaning, to remove the dust from your home. Right now, when you mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, you'll get $30 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR30 when scheduling online at ZerasColumbia.com.
107.5 The Game traffic. Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
A good Monday morning, my friends. We're going to be having a first alert traffic update being sent your way. I-20 westbound, a crash being reported after exit 70, US 321. If that means anything to your travels, please be mindful. Also, I-26 westbound has been consistent with the problem. A crash between exit 136 and exit 129. That is SC6 Caw Highway and US 21. Again, I-26 westbound there. Please be careful on the rest of those travels today. Be mindful, and thanks for listening. I'm WIS meteorologist Tony Chivaroli.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Game
with Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Right now, let's give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to tomorrow's South Carolina baseball game at Founders Park. They host the Citadel. 803-404-6100. We'll take caller number 4 right now. 803-404-6100. You can win yourself a pair of tickets to tomorrow night's 7 p.m. first pitch over at Founders Park, South Carolina, and the Citadel. 803-404-6100. Caller number 4 right now will win yourself some tickets and go check out the Gamecocks and the Bulldogs tomorrow night, Founders Park, over at Founders Park. 7 o'clock first pitch, 803-404-6100. If you want some tickets, and go check out the Gamecocks and the Bulldogs. All right, Preston, as we wrap it up, and honestly, now we go into what I kind of consider my sporting calendar weeks are always kind of, this one's really good. That was don't get me wrong. College football season as a whole, I love, and I look for those really big Saturdays. But like when you start talking like Thanksgiving week, where you're combining college basketball with college football, with NFL football, if you want to throw in a little NBA, the NHL is going on. Like that's the best week of the year to me. Starting tonight, we really get involved in championship week. Are you staying up to catch just some buzzer beaters, watch some mid-major tournaments, see the dreams realized of getting into March Madness?
No.
Wow, what a wet blanket you are.
No, I'm here for most of it, man. I love to catch the recaps. I'll be watching. I'm SEC centric, obviously, so I'm gonna be watching the SEC tournament, see what's going on there. And then if there's sort of like flashing or games that you might check out, I'll go to check those things out.
One to just kind of keep an eye on tonight.
Okay.
It's a rematch, 7 o'clock. Let me check the channel here. It's on ESPN, so easy to find. All right. It's a rematch of what was a thriller last year and led to South Carolina probably having the winner of that contest probably was going to get the South Carolina head coaching job. Furman and Chattanooga. Now, Chattanooga last year hit the buzzer beater. Lamont Paris wins that game, goes to the NCAA tournament, has as a head coach, has getting the NCAA tournament on his resume. Bob Ritchie had to go home. I mean, do you remember the shot that he hit last year? Do you remember?
I don't.
Just the incredible shot of it. Absolutely incredible shot that Malachi Smith hit there at the buzzer, kind of over two guys. Again, if that ball doesn't go in, Bob Ritchie goes and Furman goes to the NCAA tournament, and you'd be hard pressed to tell me that Ray Tanner doesn't hire the man who made the NCAA tournament.
So it's like an alternate universe type of thing.
A little bit of an alternate, yes. So that's one to watch. That's why I bring it up. I'll be tuned into that tonight to see that contest take place up in Asheville. Should be a lot of fun. And again, we'll kind of see what happens. Furman is the number 1 seed. It's the finals tonight. Chattanooga's the 7th seed.
Ooh.
Chattanooga's made a run. New first-year head coach there. They've made a run, and it will be a championship match tonight, 7 o'clock in Asheville. People can catch that out. Keep an eye on it.
I'm keeping an eye. I will check it out just because you said that.
Plan appropriately. We will return tomorrow. The NFL Combine's going on, and there's been some good stuff. Are you a Combine guy?
It's so stupid. I can't wait to talk about it.
I might have to contact Patrick Pratt. Just let him take you to task on that. We'll see. We'll do all that tomorrow. We'll continue to celebrate the fact that Reggie Anderson did not win the Corley Pool Solutions Checkered Flag Challenge as well. And we'll be joined by JC Sherbert. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
This is Gamecock quarterback Spencer Rattler, and you're listening to 107.5 The Game, the home of the Gamecocks.
A Cumulus media station.
The 88th running of the Carolina Cup races, presented by Mulliken Law, is Saturday, April 1st in classically Camden, South Carolina, where spring begins. Make your plans to attend this fantastic fun event with the entire family. Gates open at 9 a.m.
and have kind of fallen off, and a lot of people are projecting Hofstra. Charleston would have to get in as an at-large right now, but I don't know if they're in the championship CAA conference basketball. I don't know if it's the champ.
I grew up with that team, those prep teams.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I will say this is where for me, like I do get into it, but it takes me like 2 days to figure out. I'm like, okay, when are the championships? What are we doing again? Because like
I love those. I grew up going to those games. How you doing, sir?
Hold on. So tonight's the semifinals. You got Towson versus Charleston at 8:30.
They're in the SoCo now.
They're in the Colonial. Yeah, so Charleston plays Towson and UNCW plays Hofstra, and we're heading toward a Hofstra. All right, everybody. Y'all have a great rest of the day, and we will see y'all in the morning. Thank you for everybody's work, and thank you for the Lyle Crocodile comments.
Easy day for you today.